Well, while we're waiting for Draho, who wants to go through last week's What Happened?
I certainly
Obviously
don't.
not
I wasn't there.
So our brave cadre of adventurers resumed our search of the dwarven former city, Sarbreen. We found rooms full of dead people. We found rooms full of weird boxes that did nasty teleportation tricks. We teleported the big bad guy for that session away. And then we got jumped by a drow raiding party. In theory, one connected with the bad guy that we've been chasing. Oh, and I got a spear and magic helmet. I think that's about what sums it up. Did I miss anything?
No, that sounds about right.
There was a puzzle that really annoyed Draho.
That is true.
There was a kind of an obnoxious puzzle that I will not forgive the GM for, because that was terrible.
Nothing new there.
I mean, I joked up our way into a solution to his first real puzzle. So
This is true.
This whole thing is a little less Lord of the Rings, more Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Like, let's be honest.
Well, that's pretty much all tabletop games.
Yeah, that's okay.
There's our Draho.
Oh, no, there's your Draho. No. Oh, wait, no,
Okay.
I'm not here.
Sorry about that. Lost track of time eating dinner.
It's a very
Okay,
Draho
sure.
thing to do.
Okay.
Good to see you're in character.
Yeah, right.
He's never not in character.
All right, ladies and gents, take me a moment to get everything reset up.
Helps when the character is yourself.
Oh, what's up, man?
How's it going?
Not bad.
Good. How's the
Oh, yeah, I
PC?
was gonna say, computer's running smooth. Hasn't had any heating issues. Wife played Fallout 4 for like 5 hours straight on highest graphics setting, and it barely got hot enough to feel.
Please bear with us, chat, as we catch up with some people who haven't been on the stream in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Last computer gave out on me, and I had Sean do an emergency repair job. Fixed everything.
By the way, this portrait of judgment is brought to you by no one because we still don't have sponsors.
That's the devil's talk.
Sure we do. They're called subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
It's
brought to
not
you
the
by
same.
Draho
They
for
pay
being
to
late.
watch. They don't pay to advertise. But if you would like to, please do.
Mm-hmm.
Please contact us through some means. We'll find it. We also, in all seriousness, we do appreciate you guys' patience through all the technical issues we have in every episode, because that's just a thing.
Yay, learning curve plus internet. And we'll probably be doing this one more time when Misaki gets here in about 20 minutes.
Doomy.
All right. That should be fully set up now. So, quick announcements. As always, we certainly do appreciate our subscribers. Shout outs again to him, UR, Stewie, Ike, Iron Legs, Lady Delin, Lacey Charisma, and Gorham, our current subscribers to the Switch channel. That left you guys off last time, having just dealt with that drow party. From what I understood, you wanted to head back to the Dwarven Caravan space to do a rest, correct?
Yes.
Alrighty. So, you guys get back there. Fenrir's still there. At the moment, Misaki heads into her own personal tent and is going to kind of chill for a bit. And then you see this kind of odd swirling white light vortex kind of appear above it, out of which falls Ark.
Oh! Oh!
See,
Oh,
told
hey,
you.
guys.
Everything works out in the end.
Oh.
Nice of you to drop in.
I see what because it fell. That's funny.
It's not.
Quiet, Draho. You don't speak for me. So, you guys look like you've done some stuff.
We're just waiting for the drow to ambush us because they can't keep a promise.
Cool.
We've already discussed they were a different set of drow.
Anyone can change clothes and say they're someone else.
And,
it's not untrue.
On that comment, you see a ashen-skinned, black-haired woman come striding up the cave.
Better not be having a. Did one of our players become a drow?
Greetings.
Is she with us?
Also, stop right there.
Oh, okay.
Greetings. Kind of come in, hands up, arms raised.
You are not playing a drow, are you?
Let people introduce the characters.
Yes, please explain what we see.
Yes. My name is Nix. To be honest, I have no idea how I'm being introduced. So we're doing this on the fly. Nix is indeed a half drow.
Fine sense.
Nothing Wookie.
Good man.
Draho's
Always assume they're evil.
Draho's just sitting there like half-breed intensifies.
This was largely an attempt to trigger Draho.
You're my new best friend. No offense, Navarro.
Oh,
No, the only thing
Should've
that triggers
just-
him more than a half regular elf is a half dark elf.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
He's just not sure which prejudice to start with.
Yep.
Drow first in all things.
I mean, one of these days we'll tell them where tieflings come from.
Dark pacts with demonic and fiendish ability creatures. Looking at you, Navarro. Well, anyway, back in character. Hello, Nix. What's your business here?
Good question. This is completely out of character, by the way.
Ah.
I was going to say, very confused about why you got
He looks
here.
up from his character background while he's furiously scribbling, going, "Oh, give me a minute."
Well, to be fair, I didn't get that far. So
Where
To
do we
be
do-
foul.
So what are we doing here? That's the one of life's great mysteries, isn't it? Are we
yeah, I have.
on purpose, or
Yeah, I haven't kept up as much with what's been going on.
I mean, basically, we're down here to stop a undead drow. Does he qualify as a lich or a demigod?
Pretty sure he's a Death Knight.
He is a
Yeah.
death knight.
silly death knigget?
So, I
Why
mean,
are we
you're
explaining
always-
to this person.
Oh no, I'm saying out of character. You can always say you're here to deal with him.
I mean, to be fair, it is in character for you to not know what's been going on with us. So
I mean, if you're down with the Lothness, then Loth is super butthurt at this guy.
well, lady.
No. The one we're
The
going
Death Knight.
after is a guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, the guy we're going to kill. Well, then, yeah.
yeah. Loth super butthurt at that guy.
Well, I have no,
Like past preparation age.
no real connection with Wolf, so
Good.
um,
You should.
Yeah, back in character, I guess. I was traveling and saw light and presumably smoke from a fire.
Almost definitely.
Thought I would come investigate. I'm new to these lands. I come much closer from further to the west, more towards Mythdraenor.
Of course, at the mention of Mythdraenor. Whereabouts near Mythdraenor do you come from?
There's a town in the Underdark near Mythdraenor. Goes by the name of Zanhorlok, or otherwise known as Moralot. It is a dwarven settlement that was formerly of Drow population.
So you're
half drow, half dwarf. What, did your mom have under jungle fever?
Not quite. Not quite. My parents were an odd couple. My mother, I hardly know them, but as all adventurers hardly know their parents. But
I know mine.
I don't mind.
Mine were terrible.
The only orphan.
My
Mine
mother
was
was
on the terrible parents' part.
My mother was on the edge of upper crust drow society. She had a breeding slave, and somehow they fell in love with each other and had me. And when they went to escape drow society, as drow are wont to do, they went after them. And I somehow got lost along the way. And that's all I really know about where I come from. The dwarves picked me up on a patrol, and
Well, if the dwarves account for you in or near Mythdraenor's lands, then obviously you're sanctioned. So
as
I'm
much
just-
as anyone could be.
I'm going to say to Nyx in Dwarvish. Do you speak Dwarvish?
No.
Insight check.
How would you know to answer that if you didn't know?
because I'm sure you get asked that a lot when you live in a dwarven city.
Yeah. Yeah. I know enough to get by, but I can't.
Fair.
That's
Is
like
this dude
habla
lying to me?
español.
You don't think so? Seems very genuine.
Yeah. I know enough to get by, but I mostly lived in the slums.
Also, I'm pretty sure up to this point, Ark has not fought any drow. So he's like more at ease probably than anyone else in the group.
Oh, believe me, if you've spent any time with Draho getting drunk, you know what a drow is.
I'm pretty sure I know that with you sober, Draho.
Does Nyx look like they are in, good health?
Think so.
Are they equipped as a commoner, merchant, adventurer?
Adventure.
Are you down with the thickness, or are you a finger twiddler, or what do you appear to be?
I mean, that's something to really discuss.
I mean, right now you have
Before-
ashen skin. I need more input.
Okay, number 5.
As Kadra said, ashen skin, kind of on the light side, so that's one of the tip-offs that I'm not fully drow. You kind of look like that from a distance, but otherwise, kind of black hair, short-ish, pale blue eyes,
Do you
female.
have any obvious weaponry on you? You
I do
did come in with your hands up, so.
I do not have any obvious weaponry, though I am wearing a set of scale mail armor. And a backpack of the adventuring sort. The usual.
Complete.
You
With
seem
50-foot hempen
short
rope.
some of the tools of your trade.
Well, we all keep our secrets.
Fair.
Man, you're making it really hard for Draho to trust you.
You didn't trust me, and you still don't. Get over it.
Draho,
I
you
did
make it
just
sound like
meet-
you trusting people is ever easy.
And we're still alive.
I did just meet you, and of
You're
course,
not a threat, Draho.
interrupted your dinner or whatever time.
Yeah, what are you doing over here? Normally, drow lurk in the darkness. They don't really approach groups on friendly terms.
I just kind of, as Draho's being like this, I just sort of stretch and just.
Is that the wrist lock again?
It's my own wrist, but
Yeah.
So, what shape
you
does
want.
Ark look at? Like, are you beat up? Do you need medical attention?
Me, I'm fine. Although, did I take any damage from the fall?
You didn't. Surprisingly, a short fall.
It aches more than it hurts. Like,
And did Ark register on my?
He did not.
yeah, I went to an interesting place.
Fine, interesting arc.
I met my granddaughter, who hasn't been born yet, who hasn't been conceived yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Did she happen to mention who her other parent?
Well,
Let me bring this genealogy around. Did she mention who her grandma was?
she did not. Although,
Was she wearing nice clothing when you met her?
I mean,
Did
I
she
think
dress like you?
you're asking an awful lot of questions. None of them are particularly nice.
I'm just putting together pieces that I'm hoping don't fit well.
Yeah, I heard you don't like puzzles. Well, we can talk more about that later. I think we have a more.
Yes, there's a drow standing here.
It's partial.
Well, the sometimes ignorance of Mythrander's educational system is widely known.
What's the phrase that civilized folk preaching to the choir? That.
Well, since you were, at least as far as I know so far, though I will be heading to Mythrander, if we ever head that way, I will have you checked. You're permitted on the property, so you might as well be trustworthy enough. I suppose we can have you join our camp and provide you a meal. No sense being inhospitable until you pull the dagger on us.
Do appreciate that. Thankfully, I don't carry any daggers, just a small pocket knife for my own.
And know that as I invite you to
in
sit
return.
down, I am not taking my eyes off of your hands, especially when you go near food or drinks.
Fair enough. It's not an uncommon reaction.
Oh, have you met Kibble?
Well, that is certainly expected from the denizens of Mythrander.
At the moment, Kibble seems to be hiding behind Draho's cloak.
I feel like this whole like standoff between Nix and Draho is just like we're all trying to sit down for dinner, and there's some beef between the weird uncle and the one cousin.
I did put in chat a couple of weeks ago that racist Uncle Draho is ruining Thanksgiving.
Well, you totally answered my question from earlier.
I tell you, these gnomes are taking their jobs. No.
Yes, I appreciate your offer. And
Excellent. Have a seat.
I've heard rumors of a group of adventurers. I don't.
Do they have a
know
name?
Much in the way of details. I have some limited contact with the drow in the area, largely on unfriendly terms. As again, as you say, drow cannot be trusted, even by somebody who shares some of their heritage.
Draho, you have something in common with Drow. How does that feel?
Doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good. That's all I'm going to say on that. And if any,
I have missed this.
I am, Kedro, going to try, this is going to be sleight of hand, I'm going to try to, without drawing attention to myself, draw a dagger and palm it, and then cross my arms, prepared to strike at a moment's notice.
All right, make that roll.
I don't want everyone to know I'm, prepared for the inevitable assault, but...
Natural 1.
Can I roll
almost.
perception to
That'd be
See?
passive.
I doubt you need it. Passive perception will probably make this. I rolled a 9.
Oh yeah, pass.
Oh,
pass. We'll see
I
that.
saw that.
Passive perception. You all see me very subtly draw a knife.
It's not that subtle if we all see it.
Well, in
I'm just
Draho, it's very quietly. You hear a shing,
I
and then
would
you see
like
him
to.
slowly slide it up a
You
cuff.
managed to angle the blade so it reflects off of the fire.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
would
slowly
like to.
putting it in my sleeve, acting like no one can see me, and then tuck my arm across my chest.
As he's doing that, I would like to whack him on the wrist with my quarterstaff.
Ow! What was that for?
I look at Navarro
Could
and
have
give
cut myself on the nothing that I have.
You know very well what that was for, Draho.
I'm just gonna kind of smile and take a seat near the fire somewhere.
Oh, you put the pompous prick in his place? Good first impression.
All right. So between the dwarves and Kibble, they bring out a small fare of meats, cheeses, and breads. Bread's a bit stale now that you guys have been down here several days.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to eat in that time, so.
And in true Draho fashion, I'm going to be like, manners. Your manners, man. You'll never be able to eat at a proper dinner table if you eat like that.
I'm kind of engaged in survival.
Somebody who's attempted to palm a blade does not get to school anyone on manners.
What he said.
Also, chew your food. Slow down.
So
We have
evidently
time,
this
friend.
just came in.
Oh,
Look, I'm hungry and I haven't got to kill anything in a couple of days. I'm just taking what I can get.
Well, we've got
I've never been much for manners, so feel.
Oh yes, certainly. By all means, don't use manners. It gives me all the more reason to, be polite to you.
Well, unfortunately, not all of us.
Care about Draho's opinions on them.
Not all of us grew up with a silver spoon in our mouth.
Manners maketh man bear man, man bear man.
And of course, this time, not one more attempt while I'm holding the knife to cut a piece of meat away, to then put the knife up my sleeve. Natural 1.
Even better.
Okay,
I
I'm
called
gonna whack
it
him
roll
again.
early.
I managed to cut my arm. Ow! With the knife, as I very clearly was trying to hide it up my sleeve again.
I just roll up my eyebrows, or I raise one eyebrow and I look at him and just.
I was testing to make sure it was sharp enough to cut the meat, and I cut myself.
Insight check. No.
You could have just tried to cut the meat. I
Yes,
mean,
well-
even for you, that's stupid, Draho.
Yes. A stupid Draho and nothing more.
So, yeah, here, let me see that. And I reach over to look at the cut that he's got.
It's not deep. It's just enough to be annoying.
I sprinkle salt on it, and then I lay on hand, seal it up. Think about that for a minute.
I don't think he has a choice at this point.
It's like an arc wrist lock on steroids.
Ark doesn't need steroids to wrist. Why am I getting insulted now?
No, I'm saying it hurts as bad as your wrist lock.
Well, you said on steroids, which would make it more powerful.
Yeah.
It's only on steroids because you actually have to hold on to them. I can continue to eat my supper and watch.
I can
Yeah,
what-
I am definitely going to
Just stop using a fork.
Yeah. Yeah. That now Draho's just going to put the knife down because clearly this is getting nowhere with him.
Also, I think he's aware that he has a second wrist and we
and-
still have more salt.
Do tell me, because I want to hear this, just exactly what you were planning on doing with that.
What, the
I've
knife?
seen you in hand-to-hand combat. Please tell me exactly what you were going to do with that.
He's actually not bad at hand-to-hand, but he has to scream like a little girl first.
Yeah. Funny,
No,
but
no.
no.
We have a little girl. She screams and blows shit up.
I've
At
never
this-
actually screamed. I just blow stuff up. Draho's the coward.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna
I retract it.
I'm gonna take the knife, go over to what I assume we have some sort of chunk of meat, like a ham or a chicken or something that's big enough to stab.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Not Mr. Buckbegot.
I'm going to take the knife, and while staring Nyx directly in the eye, I'm going to repeatedly stab the piece of meat aggressively.
Draho, it's already dead. That doesn't count.
And then I'm going to put the knife down and say, that's what I can do. And sit back down disgruntledly.
Also, to be fair, any piece of meat is big enough to stab if you don't care about the plate.
I wanted to make sure it was something big enough that you could tell how aggressively and skillfully I was stabbing it.
And you leave the knife there?
Yes,
Okay.
in the meat. And then I twist it. Still making eye contact with Nyx.
It's not that
Clearly,
you...
they didn't
Oh.
teach you how to serve dinner in this runner.
Yes!
You're lucky that the rules of hospitality say I can't give you a more personal demonstration of how that knife works.
Oh,
Why are you
trust
so
me,
salty,
I've known
Draho?
it before. I've known. I understand exactly how it feels. And then I'm gonna, whatever the piece of meat is that we're working with, I'm going to kind of go over and take the knife out, put it on the ground, not on the ground, but next to it. That Draho left in the chicken or the ham or whatever it is, and I'm going to summon to my hand a nice curved dagger,
Ooh.
and then just kind of take a nice little slice.
How close are you to Draho when you summon a dagger?
However far away that you are from where we're standing.
So like opposite side of the table, because I would definitely put myself opposite side of the table of you.
Do we have a table in our camp?
Sure, why not?
You're traveling
Made of
with Draho and a bunch of dwarves. You've got a table.
That's
It's made
true.
of a
Yeah,
big
but
piece
it's
of purple worm plate.
Yeah, if you're gonna summon a knife when you lean over the table towards Draho, I am going to stand up from the table, knocking my chair over, stumble back, and go to pick up my rapier at the side of the table and draw it and face off against you.
And
Put
then
it
I'm
back.
just going to wink the knife out of existence and go sit back down.
What I thought. Mine's bigger.
Compensating! Anyway,
And then I'm gonna resheath it and sit back down.
by the
I
way,
believe you thought the best thing to do with Paranoid Draho is stand up and summon a knife out of thin air.
I mean, it was hilarious. By the way, I'm just noticing all the purple worm scale hide plates, whatever you gathered. I was like, whoa. I missed some fun.
Yeah, purple worm attacked us. Couple of undead. Nothing unusual.
I miss all the good stuff.
Well, maybe next time don't get caught up in a portal to the netherworlds or the future or wherever you went.
It wasn't on purpose, so you can take your complaint, write it down, and stuff it in your handbag.
After I cut off my little slice of dinner, I'm going to look at Draho and say, sometimes you just have to use a little bit of leverage.
You don't get to say that. You are not a Kenku.
I am looking specifically to see if Draho is crying.
Not happy. Not happy. Leverage is my constant shame.
More than handbag.
Yeah, you had to remind me of handbag.
I already said it.
This is, of course, entirely coincidental.
Well, I like when I said handbag, I didn't catch that was a reference to the handbag.
I love that you make the best puns accidentally and we have to haunt you with them. By the way,
Yeah.
Perception 13 to see if Draho's crying. Just a little.
There are tears of rage behind Draho's eyes.
I can respect that.
They haven't fallen, but he's very angry to the point that he could just start crying.
Well, yeah, you haven't paid them to drop yet.
So I'm gonna, once dinner's almost done. So Nix, once dinner's over, are you planning to leave and not return?
I can most certainly continue on my travels. Where I'm traveling to, I don't know.
Well, we're about to head further into Sarbreen. If you want to journey that way.
I'm not familiar. Would you mind explaining a little?
Well, it's an old dwarven city where we have reason to suspect there is an undead drow death knight that needs to be killed.
That is intriguing. I don't know what your quarrel is with this creature, but
Oh, he's just trying to help an even worse person in the world. He says, putting more in his mouth.
it's always a noble goal to put it into these types.
I mean, I do live here, so it's, you know.
Yeah, we didn't really volunteer for the job. We just sort of stumbled into it.
Well, that's the adventuring life. As I said, I grew up in the not very wealthy part of the dwarven town that I came from, and you see some things that are not particularly pleasant. And again, dealing with the raids from the drow that come from further down, and it does make you not like them very much.
So you're familiar with drow customs and so forth, correct?
I to some extent, as much as you can be from the other end of a sword.
The only place they should be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that I'm suggesting this. I'm not comfortable with this idea, but if you would like, I would not be opposed fully against you possibly traveling with us to deal with this Drow Death Knight, as I've got a strong feeling that Drow will be ambushing us further down the way, and you seem familiar with their tactics. I have not spent a lot of time hunting Drow, so I don't know what their tricks are, only that they are many and all very, very deceitful.
That sounds about like your typical drow, yes. I do speak Undercommon. It's a language that I did learn
Well, that would be even more helpful to us
in
since
my time
we
growing up.
don't.
Yeah, I'm willing to travel if there are no resentments to my coming along.
There's resentments, but
Oh, well,
by chance, would you happen to own any type of crafting shop?
No.
Because Draho might invest in that.
that will never happen.
You say that now.
The day I invest in a drow shop is the day I lose all my wealth.
I do own a hair salon called Curl Up and Die.
I like your style.
Yeah.
That was tongue in cheek, of course.
Yeah, I know. I don't like it because it's pun based.
You don't have to like it.
Yeah, if you speak Undercommon and you're familiar with Drow trickery, then I would, for some reason, feel more comfortable having you travel with us. Of course, you'll be paid. We'll determine your share based on how effective you are in battles. Obviously, the better you are, the better your pay.
I appreciate that.
I may not like Drow, but I don't cheat them.
Sometimes life is not cheap, and in the slums, everything is. But I am fairly well off now, by my standards. A small share of what we come across is all I need.
You'll get a fair share. And then with sort of a sense of very well-earned pride, I'm going to puff at my chest and say, Reitlandmere has never, ever shortchanged anyone that worked for us.
Except for
Even
the
our
time you forgot
enemies.
to pay Kibble.
I was hoping somebody would mention that. That's why I did this.
Speaking of which, I lean over to
And-
Kibble and I point at the
Who's
The
Kibble?
Hi.
while we're discussing about that, I lean over to Kibble like, Kibble, you fought that big thing? And I'm pointing at that. Did you kill it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you helped fight it?
Mhm.
Good job. And I fist bump him. Yeah.
And,
You already have one uncommon companion, so why not another?
And Nix,
Yes.
you can recognize a few items of Drow on Kibble. A chain shirt, bow, short sword at his side, all made of Drow iron.
But not only do we have another uncommon companion, we have an
Wait,
undercommon.
his bow is Drowcraft?
Yeah, he picked up the short bow that you didn't want.
Oh, right. I assumed it's better than the regular short bow I gave him, the magic one I bought.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I was about to say, wait, I accidentally bought him a Drow bow? That's hurtful.
I only accept this from a mechanical standpoint, but on principle,
I was going to say, that would obviously be more reason because it'd be like, this is clearly an elven crafted bow, probably of the highest order, not realizing it's Drow.
Despite their
only allow it
reputation,
because you're using it to kill more Drow.
Drow are definitely not savages in the sense of they're unskilled or they're uneducated or they're
Oh, trust me, I know what it's like for Draho to think that.
Well, no, Drow aren't. They were once civilized elves. Clearly, they retained some of what we had. We have. But, I mean,
well, there certainly aren't arachnophobes.
yes. Yes.
Wait, did we declare that at any point? Or do we have anything spelling that out on our materials?
You really think I didn't bring Arachnophobia's banner with us?
Does it say arachnophobia in words?
No, but everyone knows Arachnophobia's banner.
So you're saying that our reputation, in fact, precedes us?
It better. We worked hard for it.
I don't know what you're talking about, but arachnophobia is not a fear of spiders.
Insight check.
This is where you roll a nat 1 and go, no, it's not.
That's just F to doubt.
Drow, of course, being mostly followers of Spider Queen.
Oh, yeah, I get it. It's sensible to not like
I'm just gonna
Drow
kind of
or spiders.
give Draho a little bit of like quirky side eye.
Yes, well, I am
Also-
going to pull out the booze to make this entire event more comfortable.
I wish to charter a motion to change our name when we get topside.
Why? Our name's well known in the arenas. I mean, what are we calling it again? It's not an illegal fight club.
Well, you can leave out the illegal part. That's the key thing. We can keep that as our stage name.
Underground death fights?
I'm gonna
Sounds
scoot
like
back a little bit further towards the wall.
Sounds like an apt name for this adventure.
Underground death fights.
Underground
we can change the
Metal
name. I
Band.
guess it's not too late to readjust the banners. Rebranding, we'll call it. Maybe do a promotion.
I mean, what's the good of all the money that we carry if we don't spend it on, rebranding?
Yeah, we'll do a promotion run, offer people some cheap little trinkets that aren't worth very much. Yeah, it'll be great.
Can we maybe put the arachnophobia symbol on like a round piece of metal? But we'll need a bunch of them, and at some point we'll need to take those discs and count them. And
I heard what you did. Don't support. So, okay, yeah. Draho,
it's really loud today.
to ease the tension of being in social situation with a drow.
Drah's going to shut up?
No, he's going to pull out brandy.
He just talks more when he's nervous.
She looks
I'm
really
going
nervous
to
coming out of the bag.
Huh? Did you just...
Yes, he did.
All right. Anything
Draho,
else
it's
you
not
guys
my
want to do?
birthday.
Other than get far away from Draho, no.
Alrighty. I've reset everybody to a full long rest, so everybody's hit points, spells, and whatnot should be back.
Sweet.
I didn't cast any spells while I was away.
That's true.
Good.
And how do you guys want to proceed?
Breakfast.
All right. Kibble feeds everybody up.
Yay.
By the way, when Kibble hits like 4th level, or if he's already past that, 8th level, he needs to take Inspiring Leader.
Eventually.
Because-
Yes, the well thought out battle speech that is conveyed to us on the top of Dark Force.
See, the
Not a battle
convincing
speech.
that you'll have to do on the DM's part to make a 10-minute speech every time you want that, though?
No. Not a speech. It's the food inspires us.
There's actually a feat for that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but
Just
really?
Yeah.
do Aragorn's speech at the Black Gate, but in Kibble's voice.
I mean, he has levels in Bard, so it could just be like a power ballad.
That is true.
All right, so I assume if we're looking for the Drow, we want to head back to where we encountered Drow.
You're gonna have to show me where that is.
I also think we should have Nyx lead because Nyx is the most familiar with, drow tactics between us.
Don't know how you're planning to have Nyx lead when she hasn't been here and doesn't know where we encountered the Drow.
Good thought.
Nyx, if you would like, you can be right behind me. I tend to be in the front. But that's up to you.
I will willingly choose not to walk behind Draho
I think Draho doesn't like anyone walking behind him.
because I think he would be walking backwards the entire time.
Yes. I would
Got
not,
our 6 covered.
I
Totally.
would not break eye contact if you were behind me.
Okay. So
Okay. So we'll go something like Ark, Nyx, Nivara, Kaizen, Draho.
That works.
the NKD formation.
Although I guess probably need to have Nivara go near the front because
You
See
see,
dark
Ark doesn't
vision?
know where we're going either.
I mean, you can tell me, hey, take a right.
Yeah, I'll just direct Ark back to where we encountered the Drow at.
Okay. So
Do
you
I
guys,
still see blood splatter?
Yep.
Nice.
You guys make it back down to that portion of the hall. There was that exit through the one section that you guys haven't gone through fully yet.
Wait, there's another exit from the hallway?
So they caught you in the hall just as you guys were about to go through a room that had an opposite end exit.
Okay. Did you guys at least convey this to me that this is where you've been and this is where you have not been?
Yeah, so I will just point out where we haven't been yet. And
Okay. And is that exit, does it involve a door?
It does not. That door is already open.
Damn, you robbed me of catharsis. Anyway.
Give it time. There are a lot of doors.
All right. Well, anyway, I guess I will carefully move forward and see what I can see.
Walking through that arch, you guys exit to a hallway and notice a small plaque that reads Market Hall B. The hallway corners several times due to rubble obstructing your way and opens into an area with a slew of small buildings. Large cave-ins have destroyed most of the buildings along this thoroughfare. The walking path is littered with a variety of pebbles, rocks, and boulders, from the cavern ceiling having caved in along most places. Large stone columns, some of which can still be seen holding up the remnants of the cavern. Ahead in the middle of the street is a large fountain structure with a statue of 3 dwarves holding large warhammers in various positions that stand resolute against the decay. A faint stream of water dribbles in between kind of their feet down into the fountain.
Is the water by chance golden?
It is not.
Okay.
Is it like the other water?
It
Or
is.
is it? Okay. I definitely gonna go check for the usual.
All right. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
I'm familiar with this trick.
All right. I see him going to do a thing, so I stand back and watch.
11.
All right. You see Draho search through the water. Doesn't seem to be anything in there, but your hands and upper arms are nicely drenched at this point.
Yeah.
I look at everyone else and I just kind of...
And I'm going to stand up and go, no gems, no gold, no silver.
Oh. Okay.
Did I check all of them on that 11?
You did.
Okay, yeah.
So there's some partially and some fully collapsed structures about?
Almost all of them seem to have some form of collapse to them. What you've seen thus far has been either collapsed in or the doorway's kind of open and you can just see rubble inside.
Do I see any signs or markings that would indicate what the building was?
Not on these, aside from that original plaque leading you in here.
Okay. Well, it said the marketplace, so I'm sure we might have a chance of finding something useful around here.
Potentially.
Okay. I guess I go up to the first building that looks like it might still have unrubbled space inside.
All right. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
God, freaking top stats.
In that case, go ahead and give me a dexterity save.
Oh, okay. That I can do in a non-cocky way, so my dice don't get any ideas. Okay, so that's so let me check the character sheet because that's the thing. And 17.
All right. So as you're searching your way through, you find some large cracks, one of which you almost fall into.
I would have not fit inside.
Actually, you would. The tunnel looks to be somewhat cramped for someone your size, but it does seem to tunnel down.
Does it seem more or less stable?
For the most part.
Define the part that isn't stable.
If you were to, say, take an adamantine maul to it.
Kibble, I want you to look down this way before I try to smash it.
Okay.
Okay.
He scurries on down. Takes a little bit. Then comes back up. There's a whole room down there.
Did you see what was in it?
There was, it was hot and wet, and there was some light on the wall, and I think there were some chests.
Did the ceiling look kind of sturdy at least?
Yeah, it opened up.
Okay, you're gonna want to move back.
Okay.
Hey guys, found something. But keep a healthy distance for a second. And
All right. So you mash your way through. Takes a little bit to get through, though. And it opens you into opens into kind of a small room that has a pervasive, lingering humidity. Feels warm, but not quite comfortable. There's a moderate amount of brown and black grime built up on the flagstone walls and flooring, and you can see a small light that is coming from like inside an open chest on the far wall.
So there's one chest with glowing, and there's other chests.
Correct. About 4 others.
And the light is what color?
Kind of a warm yellow.
Is it familiar?
No.
Okay. It's different. Got it. All right. And is anyone following me down here?
Never all come.
Okay.
I'll go with.
Just stay in a place where you can run away fast enough if stuff gets weird.
If Nyx is going down, I'm going down right behind Nyx. So that nobody gets stabbed in the back.
You arc?
So that nobody gets stabbed in the back. I won't say that's why.
Stab in the back.
Yeah, I won't say
Geisen then
that's
has
why.
to go down too.
Okay. All right. Before I open up the glowy one, because that seems to be the priority target. Hey, Kibble, you want to check to see if that's trapped?
It's already open.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
stay
but
back.
maybe you should check to see if the room is trapped.
Oh, okay.
There's just a big old dangly sign that says, "Don't stand here."
Nope, I don't see any traps.
Okay, well, still go back with everyone else.
Okay.
And I go to the chest and look.
Okay.
What is glowing?
Inside that middle chest, there are 5 pittons that have kind of just the end tip glowing with a warm, kind of yellowish light.
Climbing gear?
Mm-hmm.
That glows?
That's suspicious.
Okay,
Suspicious
come back up.
fish?
Does anyone here have the thing with the hand that picks things up, but you don't touch it?
What?
Mage hand.
Oh, right. Yes, no.
I think
Maybe
at least
not.
doesn't one person in this group have mage hand?
I was this close. and I took something else.
I'm sorry. Did you think we were going to take something useful?
A very small, floating, ghostly kobold hand comes resting over on your shoulder.
That's right. I gave Kibble it when I made him a bard.
Kibble, can you pick one of these up and maybe see if it's bad for us?
Okay. And the hand floats over, picks up one of the pittons, and then kind of slides back to your direction.
Gonna touch it.
All right. It feels room temperature.
Make a Constitution saving throw. So it's a glowy piton. I'm guessing it's more of like a, hey, you can find this later if you need to. Okay.
I mean, if you
think
think
you're
about
half-
it,
I don't like
if
you're
you were
half-
climbing down a dark hole, they might be handy.
Also true.
I have seen dwarves use these when they work with humans.
Okay, well, Scooby up and into a pouch. So,
Okay.
all right. Check the other chests, Kibble, please.
Okay. And so he runs over. They all seem to be empty, but this one, it's weird. See?
Weird about it.
Well, you have to explain how it's weird.
Oh, well, come look. The bottom of it is taller than the other ones.
I'm gonna step over and look.
And so
False bottom.
Standing next to the two of them, that fourth one, its bottom is up about 3-4 inches compared to every other one.
I'm gonna get down low and look to see if it looks like it's on a pressure plate of some kind or something like that.
Roll investigation.
'Cause that seems like one of those. I heard somebody grabbed something off a pedestal and a boulder chased him down a hallway once.
Okay, we're going to need a small sack and some sand.
So
Well,
investigation.
Draho can supply the small sack.
Oh,
At
19.
least somebody else was thinking it too.
Take a D4 fire damage for that burn.
Does not seem to be on any sort of mechanism.
Okay. Well, just because it doesn't seem to be on a mechanism, Draho's not the smartest.
No one's arguing that.
Okay, we've already established that.
So I'm going to look at it and say, it doesn't look like it'll move if we move the box, but I think we should all step back and let Kibble use his mage hand to figure this out.
Is his mage hand strong enough to move a chest this size?
No, but he can open it, can't he?
Probably. It looks like there's a button right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's all step back a good distance and let him do that.
I'm also going to take out my shield and let Kibble kind of use it as cover.
Okay. So you guys all step back. Kibble steps behind your shield. You see that mage hand go out, tap that button, and a small drawer releases from the bottom of the chest.
Kibble, check
Okay.
the traps.
You see
I'm
the
going
mage
to
hand kind of
approach it.
picking into it.
Yeah,
As
okay,
it
I was about to
does.
say. I'll
Okay,
approach it.
Kibble,
Kind
remember,
of
no
moves up.
touching things without us looking at them first.
Oh,
Check.
sorry. And like gold and a diamond ring drop back in.
Okay, yeah, we'll go over and inspect
Kibble.
those safely.
I know you're trying. I know this is a lot.
Inside, you see what looked to be about 100 gold pieces and a small diamond ring.
Does the diamond ring look fancy or just like,
Like a small, say, engagement ring.
does it have any runes on it?
It does not.
Okay. Is this magical?
I don't think so.
It's
Okay.
just
Hmm.
Well, if it's a, looks like a, does it have anything on it that I could roll maybe an arcana or a history to get an idea of what it exactly is? Like, I guess at this point I'm playing archaeologist.
Go
Like
for a
what it
history.
would actually be for. $19.
Looks like a wedding ring.
Wedding ring. What culture? Drow, elves.
Dwarven. It's like a thick golden band with a kind of smallish set diamond within it.
Huh.
now when you're investigating this drawer, are you down on your knee?
What? No.
Okay.
Not get my. You kidding me? These floors are dirty.
I have people for that. Okay.
See, I'm
Looking
gonna
for
take
this
this
for
and
him.
go. Looks like a dwarven wedding ring. I'm assuming somebody is widowed or single now.
Looks around at everything covered in dirt and grime. I'm like, I think that's been true for a while, Draho.
He has a point.
I mean, dwarves live almost as long as elves.
They
This is only a couple hundred years of dirt at best.
Yeah, but this entire city has been buried under here so long that people forgot it was here.
Good point. They probably lost the ring. Forgot where they put it.
And for 4,500 years, it poisoned his mind.
Yeah, so I'm just going to take it and add it to our bag. Maybe we meet, dwarf looking for a wedding ring later on, and we can ask if it's theirs.
We just hand it to one dwarf. I know exactly what couple this went to. We're very stubborn about knowing things. My grandpappy carved this diamond.
I mean, it's a rock, so you get advantage.
Anyway, so is that the extent of what's going on in this room?
Seems to be, though there is another one of those kind of cracks in the flooring. This one, however, seems to be more of a crevasse.
Hello.
I guess
It does indeed
second
echo.
second verse, same as the first.
Well, if it's more of a not carved out thing, I'm going to tie a tether to Kibble before sending him in to check it out.
Well, let me send the owl.
That also is a better idea.
Okay.
So I'll send the owl down.
So your owl winds its way down into the crevasse and
Forgetting we
comes
have
into in through kind of a ceiling of a large cathedral worshiping area. You're able to see a bunch of stone benches, a raised dais, an altar in the shape of an anvil. That altar is flanked by two kind of standing candle sconces giving off a soft yellow glowing light.
All right, so I'll tell everybody that it looks like a temple of Moradin.
You said there were torches that were still burning?
Yeah, I assume magic of some kind.
Or maybe someone was just there. Are you able to fly your owl close enough to feel warmth?
As long as the owl doesn't see anything that looks dangerous, sure.
I mean, you don't have to put it into the flame because I know that'll make it go poof and you have to pay for that. But
Yep. So it gets close enough. There is no warmth to it.
Okay, so it is magical. Look,
Does it look like there's a way
I'm constantly
down?
wondering if someone went into a place ahead of us. So, and I wonder whose fault that is. Anyway.
So, with your owl being further down next to those, you can also make out a large granite obelisk behind the altar. And there seem to be two doors kind of offset on either side of that raised dais.
My mortal enemies.
Okay, does the owl see a way that looks like we could get down into that area from where we are?
Just that particular opening.
Okay, but is it like a straight drop down?
It is about 40, 50 feet.
Oh, we got plenty of rope for that.
Okay, yep, I'll relay all that information back to everybody, and I assume we can rig up some sort of climbing system to lower ourselves down.
Gee, if only we just got some magical glowy... No, we brought the mundane climbing equipment, so...
That's true. But now we've got glowing climbing equipment.
Yeah, we can use the regular stuff first. Because we can...
You don't want to give ourselves away?
Look, I'm just saying that we have the cheap stuff right now. So if we're going to have to leave something behind, let's make it that.
Okay, fair enough.
Also, we can apparently see well enough through here, and maybe we can take those torches. So we'll have a permanent light source.
Well, you've got several with the pitons.
Yeah. I mean, why do we need light sources?
More. They don't give off heat, and they weigh a pound, so... Well, if they're taking up much of our space.
Imagine needing torches to see in the dark.
Right?
Look, not everyone has magical sugar daddies.
Well, I'm just an elf.
You are just an elf.
we have superior sight to, I guess, you
Yeah, I can do that too.
barbarian races.
Time
I
for
can see just as far as you in the same lighting conditions, Draho.
There's being able to see, and then there's being able to see with your elven eyes.
Where I'm from, we just call them eyes.
Well,
But if you
That's
don't
why
have
they're
elven
inferior.
eyes, you can't see that they're taking the harvest Isengard.
I see a hobbit miles away.
Sorry, halfling. Don't want to get sued here.
Herbals.
I mean, since it is down there, I am going to be the last one to go down because I'm going to stand sanctuary and make sure nothing jumps you.
I just imagine as Nix is going down, you're just like...
No, I never train the arrow on Nyx, but I do keep a close vigil in case someone tries to attack us before we're all down.
Hey, and there's Misaki.
Someone make sure Draho's not trying to hide any more knives in his sleeves.
No. I'm keeping it the perfect bow range so that I'm outside of magical summoned dagger range, but still within bow range.
Do you know what
Sure.
outside of magical summon dagger range is? I think 60 feet, if that. So,
Yeah, but I mean,
So the
Just
way
remember,
down is-
Draho, you're not outside Eldritch Blast range. And I get 4 of them.
I also run really fast and can throw javelins.
hey,
The way
I have
down
no
is just
reason
a
to attack our comrade, parentheses, quotation marks. But
I think the Russian accent was implied.
But I ain't taking my eye off her.
Okay, so anyway, we're in the Temple of Muradin, and I feel once we get in there, I'm going to take the maul, kind of plant it down, and just bow. Not my gods, but I acknowledge them.
So, as you get down in there, you can also see that the walls are flanked by pillars carved into the shape of dwarves holding the ceiling in place. A light trickle of water can be heard echoing through the room. Descending in, you're able to see kind of large chunks of what look like dwarven figures, kind of smaller than the size of the pillars that are on the side, that have been smashed into pieces, and they're littered, interspersed among the stone benches.
That's not very nice.
Directly opposite the dais is a large set of double doors that are swung open with piles of stone debris blocking the main exit. But you do see those 2 doors tucked on either side of the rear kind of dais portion of the room.
Does any of this stone look like it's obsidian?
It does not.
Okay, good. Just making sure I didn't do that. We'll discuss that later.
So what size are the doors? Are they like normal size, like big
The
cathedral size doors?
main doors that have the rubble are cathedral-sized doors. The 2 side doors are much more appropriate for dwarves. And just as you guys are going down, Misaki catches up to you.
Oh, hey, Nisaki.
Yeah.
Overslept.
No, I was running the other way, evidently.
I mean, we're underground, so it's hard for a light cleric to really identify with the sun. Anyway, hey, we made a friend.
We did.
Yeah, this is Nyx.
Hi.
Apparently she makes Draho really mad.
Oh,
mean,
So if you see him
you
try to
said, like,
palm a
it's fine.
dagger, just smack him for me, would you?
Fine. The one time I don't not so subtly try and palm a dagger, and the drow turns around and stabs someone with their magical summon dagger, you'll all regret it.
Oh no, a DF4 damage. What will I do when everyone's in the room?
Ark, where did you disappear to?
I'm not sure exactly, but I met my granddaughter,
Wow.
right? Totally weird.
Doesn't have any information on the grandmother.
No, I have some. It just you won't be happy.
Well, what do you know?
When is Draho ever happy?
That's
Or-
my point, really. I mean, those could be two completely separate sentences and make just as much sense.
Might as well break it to him now.
I was going to say the nice part is having a drow show up totally distracted Draho from digging into that whole "you have a granddaughter" thing.
I mean, not yet. Anyway, we're in a Temple of Murden. If that wasn't obvious by everything about it. Oh, and I go and pick up those two ever-burning torches, or at least the ones at ever-burning torch.
They both are.
Yay!
They're attached kind of at the top of two long lampstands functionally.
But I could get to them, right?
Yep.
Yay! Okay, yoink.
All right.
Navarro, go check out the
And
dwarf-sized
that's when the door
doors.
opens and the giant stone. Oh no!
The left or the right door?
We'll start with the left door.
Alrighty. So the door there is, aside from being dwarf-sized, is iron and banded with rusted iron straps. There's a heavy-looking wooden crossbeam sitting across, kind of barring the door at an angle.
Ark also yoinks that,
Okay.
but there's still the iron bands, right?
That's just kind of part of the door.
Okay, so it's just more to structurally for the individual doors.
Mhm.
Okay, does the door seem to open inward or outward relevant to us? Relative to us.
Looks outward.
Okay. Everyone pick your favorite positions. And then I assume everyone picks their favorite positions, and I kick the door in.
Everybody hide behind Draho.
I was going to say, Draho's got the thing.
It is exactly what I think is behind this door.
No, not at all. So inside this seems to be a chamber for guards. Broken bunk bed, kind of barracks sleeping arrangements, line the room in shambles. Long rotted sheets and feather pillows strewn about the room. There are wooden chests laying askew, their contents long ago rifled through. On the left side of the room, you do see some folding screens, though the paper on which has either browned through or decayed and rotted in altogether in most places. You do see across the way another door. It's wooden and filigreed. It's a kind of an overly ornate capacity.
So one, I told you some people were here before us. Two, seeing the ornateness of this and knowing that dwarves are very crafty people. Gibble, can you with the checking?
Okay. Nope, doesn't seem to be trapped.
Okay. Stand back though, because we don't know what's behind it.
Okay.
All right. I go to just kick it in.
All right. It opens with almost no resistance. It seems to have been slightly opened before.
Yeah.
The room you find seems to be equipped for those of wealth. One large bed filled with silken sheets and pillows. One wall is lined with armoires, and against the opposite wall rests a large desk with a writing quill still standing. Next to it sits a plush velvet chair.
And the condition that these are in?
Much better shape.
Draho's going to like this room. Everybody, you can come in, scope this out.
Leave Draho outside.
Well, I mean, if Nix comes in here, Draho's definitely going to at least peek in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, Nix doesn't leave my sight or get behind me.
Until Nix casts invisibility.
I mean, if she casts invisibility unprovoked, I use Seeking Arrow.
That, okay. I mean, if you want to use one of those up. Anyway.
Stop drow treachery, yes.
Any drow is a good target.
All right. So if you guys are better at finding things than me, but I can try to help at least.
I'm going to search the room looking for, in particular, because I know there's going to be something of value in here and everyone else will find it. I'm looking for something to indicate the noble family that lived here. A scroll of pedigree, something that gives me an idea of who lived here. Exactly.
So who's searching what first?
Are we the only living entities in this room?
So far.
Okay. As we just walk in and start searching, I thought I'd make sure there was nobody in the room.
Nope, not as of yet.
I'll start out with the armoires.
Okay.
Yeah, and I guess I'll start with the desk, if there's a writing desk in here, which I assume there is.
Yep. Specifically the one that I mentioned.
And now that
I didn't remember if you mentioned one.
And now that we have multiple bags of holding, we can take the fancy chair if we want to.
You want perception?
Investigation.
What would we do? We already have custom furniture coming.
You got to use your smart brain, not your lizard brain.
Yep.
Mind axe.
Alrighty. So you rifle through the armoires. Doesn't seem to be much in there, just old wooden hangers. The desk, however, yields a tiny silver icon of a raven, a scrap of parchment written what looks to be in Dwarven, 12 silver pieces, a small cloth doll skewered with needles, and a fine yellow silk handkerchief.
Is the cloth doll talking?
It is not.
It is still a stick pin, though.
It is. Kaizen, where did you say you were searching?
I was just a general.
Okay. You end up making your way through the kind of the bed. And underneath the mattress, you find a small pouch containing a thin brass key, a golden band, and 3 small diamonds.
Hey, guys. I found a key and maybe a ring.
Nice.
Is there anything left that we haven't searched?
Nope, that's functionally everything in the room.
Somebody can probably take a look at these armoires again. I just kind of opened up the doors.
All right, I'll give that a shot.
Does this silk, like on the bed and everything, look like it's still intact and maybe worth something?
It does. Yep. So
That's pretty good.
the armoires, no, nothing in there.
Okay.
That's some good silk if it's lasted this long.
Perhaps somebody put it there.
I mean,
recently.
The dwarves are known for making very good crafts. Not quite as good as we elves, but certainly far above the normal.
I guess I'll bundle some of that up and toss it in the bag of holding.
Okay.
At least mine, because we have 3.
I'll have Kibble look at the band.
It doesn't seem to be magical.
Does it look at all like the wedding band we just found?
Fairly similar.
Kedro, are we still broadcasting?
As far as I'm showing.
Okay. I guess my tablet's just not having a good day.
I want to, because you said I found a pendant, some writing in Dwarven, the voodoo doll, and the silk kerchief.
Yep.
I want to hand the Dwarven writing over to Ark speaks Dwarven, right?
Yep.
Do you read it?
Yep.
Here, could you tell us what?
Because this isn't 3rd edition.
Well, you are a savage.
So
that you're asking to read a thing that you can't read.
Why was asked? Yes.
He is a savage, but is he classy or bougie?
He will be.
I mean, I'm a savage if Draho talks up too much, but
It's pronounced savage.
So the parchment looks to be a list of kind of mundane items, like a to-do list. Go to the store, pick up some apples, need some eggs.
Solve world hunger.
Torture my enemies through a magical doll.
No, nothing like that listed.
Okay.
Seems like someone's grocery list.
Makes sense. It was in the desk. The pendant, the doll, and the handkerchief. I want to investigate those to see if I can find any clues as to I know, does the pendant indicate a family crest of any kind?
Not that you've heard of as far as dwarves are concerned. Outside of the dwarven circles, ravens are fairly ubiquitous,
Yeah, I figured a lot of nobles use ravens, so
especially with the coming of the Raven Queen.
I'm actually gonna keep.
Depends on how old they are, but yeah.
I'm gonna actually keep that scroll to see if maybe our dwarf helpers. Just trying to think of a not Draho derogatory way to speak about them.
Sherpas?
I just don't want to step on his toes. They're delicate. So see if there's like maybe some insight into that I might have, or it might just be stupid and I'm someone wrote down a grocery list.
Did you say the writing quill was still on the table?
It is.
Is there an inkwell?
It is, there is, but it is long dried out.
Okay. Is the quill like a stick and a nub quill, or is it like?
Looks to be more of kind of a put together metallic implement in the shape of an appropriately feathered quill.
So it's more like a pen.
More like, yes.
So you just that's
As I'm sitting here looking at it, I'll reach into a satchel at my waist and pull out an inkwell. And
Okay.
is there any parchment on the table?
No, that is long dried away.
All right.
I have something
I
you
put my
can
hand
write
back
on.
in the satchel and pull out a scroll case and pull out a piece of paper.
Okay.
Hold on a second. You said that all the parchment is like dried up and just dusty.
Correct.
This one survived.
Yep.
Oh, we're definitely keeping this. Something is up with this.
And I'm going to see how well the quill white writes.
Fairly decently for as old as it is. It takes a bit for you to actually get it to kind of suck up any of the ink due to kind of the dried, grainy ink that was still a residue within it.
Should have bought it ink first.
But beyond that, it seems to write just fine.
Okay.
That's a nice pen.
Yep. I put it with my brushes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, artiste.
No,
Handy.
calligraphy brushes.
The handkerchief, is it just a plain yellow silk shift?
As far as you can tell, yes. Just a fine yellow silk handkerchief.
Anyone know whether this is... I'm going to ask Kibble. Do you think this is magic? Don't feel
Doesn't look
magic.
like it.
No.
It's just fancy.
It is very nice, though, so I'm going to fold it up proper and put it in my cloak.
Okay.
We'll have to get it
All out of
dyed
your cloak,
appropriate
presumably.
colors.
Here's a story about a little elf who lived in the blue.
So I guess that's the only stuff of any
I
value.
butchered that melody so hard.
Well, if that's the only stuff of any value in here, I guess we'll move on to the next.
The next.
Location, wherever we're
Was there
going next.
another room out of here, or are we just headed back through the barracks?
Would be back through the barracks.
Okay, so
You're
we'll go back
attracting
through
the
the
floor.
barracks to the other side.
Okay.
So to get to the noble's room, you have to go through the barracks.
I think we're like probably in the priest quarters.
So, as a noble, it could have been a lord who would have been a captain or the officer of whoever was in the barracks.
That's
Or,
what-
maybe a priest, because Murden is one of their war gods.
Oh yeah, I also wanted to arcana that doll to see if it's some sort of fetish.
Go for it.
Don't kink shame Draho.
Yeah,
Not that kind of fetish.
roll for kink.
Well, I got a 12, so it's probably, I think it's that kind of fetish.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be. It doesn't have enough other kind of markings to it for that. You figure that it's probably someone's usable pin holder.
Just a macabre pen holder, probably. Yes. Well, I'll just throw that in the bag with everything else.
Okay.
I could use it at my desk at home.
So heading back towards the right room then?
Yep.
All right. That door is just a heavy wooden door, not an iron one. Also is not barred.
After you, Ark.
Ark went poof. We'll assume he goes in. So entering that room, it looks to be a combination kitchen dining hall with tables and seating for easily 20 people. The room kind of has a chill air running through it, and you can see a pair of unlit fireplaces, one on the north end of the room, one on the southern end of the room.
Any other entrances, exits?
Not in this room, no.
Got 2 fireplaces that are lit.
Not lit.
Oh, not lit. I was about to say, how hot is this room right now?
And you said it's a kitchen/dining room?
Yep. So the southern portion looks to be kind of a kitchen prep area, and then the northern portion has tables and chairs.
Walk
Go
towards the
ahead and
kitchen.
investigate.
Okay.
15.
So searching through this room, you find that most of the kitchen stocks are still filled with various spices, though their potency seems to have been lost to time.
But they must float.
Indeed. The fireplace on the wall to your right, so the north end, when you came in, is filled with ashes, though the one near the kitchen end is empty.
Does it look like the tables or anything have been sat at any time or something?
No, everything is kind of covered in a very minor layer of dust.
Could I do a further investigation on the south fireplace, since that one is mysteriously unashed?
Sure.
21.
All right. Seems to be a very normal fireplace. You fiddle with the flue for a minute, and that kind of cold breeze stops.
Okay.
So there's like cabinetry in here, or
Yep, some minor cabinetry on that southern wall.
okay. But otherwise, just looks like a pretty normal kitchen area.
Yeah. I'm going to ask Kibble. Kibble, are any of these spices any good? Like, are they still good?
I can make them work.
Awesome. See if you've got anything there that you can add to our list to add a little more zest to our meal time.
Okay. And you
Yeah, I'm
see
pretty,
Kibble
the mold
start.
I'm pretty sure the mold growing in it will add some flavor.
You see Kibble start going through the kind of spice jars, and anything that he deems appropriate goes into his satchel.
I want to sift through the bit of ash that's in that north fireplace.
All right. Sifting through the soot, you find a small bronze skull, about the size of an average dwarf skull.
So bronze.
Correct.
I kind of palm it and set it on the table.
Okay.
Ka-thunk.
Any inscriptions, carving, embellishments on it?
Not from the angle that you're looking at now.
Well, then I did pick it up and
manipulate. Okay. Turning the skull over and around and inspecting its facets, you notice a small clasp on the kind of base underneath portion.
a clasp.
Mm-hmm.
Like as if there might be an opening.
Correct.
I'm gonna open this. Everyone, maybe don't be in the room. And everyone in the room gets a food.
What could possibly go wrong?
What are you talking about? I'm standing right next to you looking at it.
I'm about to open this. You cool with that?
Meh.
Dwarves aren't known for their trickery.
So,
Yes, but Drow are, and Drow wander
But you
everywhere.
got to think, cleverness is in the brain, so they would want to put it where the brain is. So. Uh-oh, he's clicking things. I think. All right, we have to see a map.
nope. So, turning the skull over and releasing the clasp, pops open kind of this bronze hinged area. Hinge being on the inside. Looks
Very
fairly
clever.
intricate in the way that they've done it. Inside, you can see a small mithril ingot inscribed with dwarven writing.
And what does the dwarven writing say?
It states, "The treasure is safe, hidden for all times in the bowels of the Hall of Knowledge. Only the master sages of the hall know where it can be found. See Armory drop location for next steps."
We found an escape room clue. So I pull that out and I read it out loud to everyone. So we're probably going to be looking for a library.
Doesn't that say see armory drop for next location?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but at some point, the halls of knowledge. So I'm guessing a library. And given how most of the parchment around here is, it's just going to be a lot of empty shelves and maybe some leather binding. Or metal. I do like metal. But we're keeping the mithril ingot because, yeah. And the skull, because also, yeah.
The skull, I believe, meets a requirement.
I think there's supposed to be more pieces. Read that again.
The treasure is safe, hidden for all time in the bowels of the Hall of Knowledge. Only the master sages of the hall know where it can be found. See the Armory drop location for next steps.
So we're going to have to find their armory, which, to be fair, we'd want to find that anyway. But we're going to have to look extra hard for extra clues.
That means we need to pay more attention.
And if Fenrir were here, I'd offer him a Scooby snack.
You need to.
And I've dropped that, shall we call it, a clue note in the Sword Tables Lounge for you.
Yay!
Awesome.
What could possibly happen? We're going on a mystery adventure.
Question: is it supposed to be bowls or bowels?
Bowels.
Okay, because it says bowls, and that's
Yeah.
very important distinction to make for a riddle. Because I don't want to be looking around for a freaking urn.
Next
So
thing we know,
the only way we can find it is we have to go to the halls of knowledge and get high. Got it. That's how you get. That's how you get
Yeah.
true enlightenment, man.
well, they did say sage.
Kibble, did you put sage in your pouch?
I always do.
Okay.
So Kibble's our supplier. Why
do you think Draho keeps him around?
Because
got-
Draho doesn't want to get his hands dirty. Literally.
It's true.
And he's got a box that steams and smokes whenever he opens the lid.
Well, he feeds that. I am not elaborating further.
Okay.
Moving on.
Yes, continuing with the delving.
So I assume we're going to have to go back out into the main chamber of the
The
temple.
Church area, yep.
So the only other way out of here is the rubble pile front door.
That or the crevasse. At least that you found so far.
All right, plan A. Ark just goes at the rubble several hours later.
I guess while he's doing that, I'll
Guys, I found another
investigate.
door.
Okay, what are you looking for specifically? Or
Looking
at, I should
for
say?
just walls, anything, any like hidden tunnels. Check the altar.
Okay.
That
Perception.
sort of normal stuff.
Wolf
So,
door. Visible.
The walls don't seem to be very, shall we say, different from most dwarven standard. The anvil, on the other hand, is kind of covered in a black grime.
Can I roll a religion? Because this is a temple, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna, while he's doing that, I'm gonna wipe the grime off of it.
All right. It is definitely a temple of Morden, especially based on that anvil altar.
Right, but that shouldn't be that dirty, though, should it?
Not generally, no.
Yeah. So
Although most temples don't have cave-ins, so
correct, but I'm going to help Ark in cleaning up the anvil and the area around it.
Okay.
Is it
if
next
anyone
to
has access to
forge?
prestidigitation, that would help expedite the process.
I
Say
do.
again, Misaki?
Is it like adjacent to a forge or?
It is not. So it's kind of just one massive altar.
Oh,
You can't see my hands; they're way out here.
yeah, they're off
We
screen and
know
hiding.
that's kind of you went all Rayman
that
on us.
big.
So the whole altar is one giant anvil.
Correct.
Oh, well then.
But as you guys are taking a kind of look over that grime, you see a small necklace covered in that grime as well.
Go ahead and give that a
Polish.
Okay.
Yep.
Looks like it's covered in various gems and beads.
Okay. Any kind of iconography or just like a thing with shininess?
Just a thing with shininess.
Okay.
Ark, have
Hmm?
Kibble look at it. It was on an altar.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
that's magical.
Oh. Do we want to take 10 and find out what it does?
well, let's see if there's anything else attached to this anvil first. Kidro,
Mhm.
is there any filigree or etchings on the sides of the anvil?
Well, as you start wiping away some of the grime, it reveals kind of a silvery metallic sheen that sparkles in the dim light that's in the room. From your experience, you would assume this to be made of solid adamantine. Small etching along the area that is now clean show the care and craftsmanship that had once taken place to raise such an altar of such a pristine nature.
I kind of look at Ark,
This is going to be too heavy to fit in our bag.
but we don't need. Draho doesn't need to know what this is. We leave the rest of it black and let the dwarves come get it.
I agree.
And I'll start to muck up what I uncovered
Or
because I'm assuming we're like on one side and everybody else is doing stuff on the other side, and we just kind of look at each other.
Well, the thing is, I believe Draho, as much as he's him, would respect the cultural significance of this. And if he didn't, well, we're going to throw him out of the chamber. And
What is it exactly?
You
Nothing.
don't want to know.
Well, yeah, because if I know, I can tell you whether Draho would respect its cultural significance.
It's,
But we're
It's
making
not
that
Elven,
choice
so
for
I'm
you.
gonna. It's not Elven, so I'm gonna assume he wouldn't.
No,
It's a holy
other
altar
cultures
to a
have
god.
value. It was a what? You broke out on me.
I said it's a holy altar to a god.
Which one though?
Muradin.
That's what I was thinking. I thought you guys had some other one.
No,
yeah, I wouldn't
it's just that
disrespect that.
It's just that it's made of adamantium. So
Yeah, and I've already got enough. We've done everything we needed to. I've still got adamantium left over.
okay, I was just going to say that if you decide to, if you did for some reason push the issue, then I'd push you out of the room.
No, I wouldn't steal there. That like first off, he's a powerful dwarf god. You don't mess with powerful gods.
He's the chief among their gods too. So you really don't do that.
Yeah. And second, I mean, what am I going to do with it?
Yeah, once we're done here, we can help the dwarves if they choose to excavate it or possibly restore this temple. But it belongs to them. I think we all agree that. So
Yeah, that's fair.
all right.
So identify on the necklace.
All right. It is a necklace of prayer beads containing 2 blessed spells, 1 cure wounds spell at level 2, and 1 lesser restoration.
Nice.
And is it an attunement item?
It is not.
Nice.
Yeah, I do believe anybody can utilize that if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just that
Pull a
it's
bead and throw it.
useful to. Out of everyone here, I have the least use for it because when I'm raging, I can't use spells. So
It's not. It's like a necklace of fireballs. You just grab the bead and it enacts the spell on the bead.
Still, if I don't do damage or take damage in a round, I lose my anger. So better for someone else.
Well, I get it.
So
Yeah. Anybody thinks they want to take it? I
I'm
mean,
so angry.
I would probably not spend my turn casting one of those spells. So
So I think we're down to, I'd say Misaki probably the best option here. Misaki or Kibble? And
Kibble's useful.
Kibble's one of our highest damage dealers, so
You see him just sitting there looking at that jar of fire.
That I gave him last week.
But I mean, he's
Actually-
also the one that gets downed first almost every time.
Well, not
I
only
would
that, he's quick
suggest-
too.
So if he's down, he won't be able to use it.
yeah.
It'll keep him from going down.
So let's give more healing ability to our healer.
Kaizan?
What I was going to suggest is I have the ability to heal someone. You have the ability to heal someone. Kibble has the ability to heal someone. We should probably distribute it to somebody that doesn't normally have that ability. So if one of us gets knocked down, they have the ability to take care of us.
Okay, I'm also saying that if we give it to Navarra, no offense, Navarra, that Magical Sugar Daddy claims it later. So
Also, well, if we're going
You all
by
don't know about that?
metagaming.
Well, I mean, I would say also,
And
without
also,
bringing
as
that
long as you
in-
don't give it to Draho.
I was just about to
'Cause
say,
I was going to say, I did promise Draho stuff, not mine.
Well, it's again least useful to me because I have to keep bringing the pain to avoid the pain. So
well, I wouldn't be too useful for it because me and Navarro both have super effective actions that we're better off DPS metagame.
So-
So it
than we are
sounds
So is
like
Draho-
maybe Nick should take it.
Yeah,
I, new person, have a shiny magical thing.
yeah, probably.
I mean, as magical items go, it's not one that can kill us.
Yeah,
Not yet.
be
I
the
mean, put
first
in my
person to
hand.
discover how you can
melee
kill
weapon.
someone with
Brr,
good wounds.
brr.
Quietly.
It is true, Ark. You would be the only person that would attempt to garrote somebody with a necklace of prayer beads.
Attempt implies a chance of failure.
Kedro, about how tall is the altar?
Goes up to about midway on your stomach.
So a dwarf would have 3/4 cover.
Hmm.
In response to the person who said that it can't kill us, as I take the necklace, I'm going to say under my breath, but loud enough for Draho to hear, I'll find a way.
Hand it to the barbarian.
Just
Hmm.
This can't kill us. Challenge accepted.
I know of a way of getting the anvil out of here, but we don't have the means.
yeah, I think we should probably, once we've got everything taken care of on the way back, we can probably bring our dwarf compatriots and they can figure out a way to properly remove this without offending Moradin.
Yeah, this definitely sounds like a dwarf problem.
Okay, so we all agree that that is a for later, tell our dwarf friends about it thing. Cool.
Dwarves are very sensitive about people touching their animals.
Yeah.
Giggity. Anyway,
What about polishing them?
That too.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. This place was invaded by dark elves, yet this particular altar still stands. So even invading army wasn't dumb enough to fuck with it.
but we're dumb enough to fuck with them. All right. Well, if there's no
Wasn't a challenge, but okay.
if everything's a challenge to me. So if we don't have any other ways immediately out of here, I guess we just go back the way we came.
Yeah. If there's no other exit out,
Now, unless you think you can dig through the rubble at the door.
How long are you willing to give me for that?
It depends on how much rubble there is.
How long are you willing to give me before it's too much rubble?
this is the dude that spent like 5 minutes tearing down a wall behind a door.
Is it like-
okay,
Done.
people, it was a bad layout design to put a door randomly on stone. All I'm saying.
So, as you guys are talking, you start to hear a stone-on-stone grinding noise that emanates from two sides of the room.
Are the statues moving?
Two of the huge stone pillars begin to move, stepping away from the duty they once held, holding the walls, and turn towards the dais.
I
They
kind of
seem
feel
to-
it's a very important job to keep the ceiling up.
They seem to wait motionless, their amber eyes glowing as they stare at you.
Hey, no, we're not taking it. We are leaving it here. No claims being made. I say this all in Dwarvish. We're not taking it.
They continue to stand, waiting for something.
Did they reveal another exit when they moved?
Nope.
I'm going to try something. It's probably going to be a bad idea, but I'm going to try it. Return to your posts in Dwarvish.
They step forward one step.
Okay, I think I'm going not going to give them any more orders. I think we should maybe leave.
Well, how are we leaving?
Well, don't we have to go back past them to get the way we came?
Yeah, but they're only taking like small steps right now, so I think we go while the getting's good.
You can go first. If you make it through
Perhaps
safely, we'll follow.
You could just clear the rubble out of the way for us. That'd be great.
How long? Okay, I will start with that. You guys might want to walk away from those things while I'm doing it, though.
To get to the rubble, you'd have to walk through them.
Okay. And are we away from those two doorways now?
Correct.
Why don't you
so
just
the doorways
ask them to clear out the rubble?
So to go past them, clear out the rubble, and everyone else would have to go past them to get back into those two doorways.
Ark, you said, can you go back to your post? They took a step forward. Maybe you're their post. Why don't you ask them if they'll clear out the rubble?
Can you help us clear out the rubble, please, to help restore the temple to its proper majesty?
They take one more step forward towards you.
Yeah, okay.
Stop giving them orders.
That was a request.
I'll stand up.
And you see Misaki pop up from behind the altar.
What did you do?
You heard me. Oh, you didn't understand anything I was saying. So, Draho, you don't even know I'm giving them orders or requests.
I understand authoritative tones when I hear them.
That's fair. All right. So, we've got a map now. Or we're starting to have a map. Mostly we have a blank void and a question mark. Bear with us, chat. It was not meant to be a pun, but it was there. Okay. All right. So,
Angry stone golems.
everyone step away from the anvil, please.
Yeah, if we don't have to roll
Okay.
No,
Now that,
initiative to
initiative
start
yet.
this.
now that I understand where I'm at, I'm gonna move forward here, and I am going to place my maul head on the ground gently and kneel before the anvil. Do they step forward again?
Yep.
Yep, I'm back here, bow drawn.
Yeah, I'm
Clearly
gonna
these
go ahead
dwarves
and
are inhospitable.
back up as
hang on.
well.
They haven't attacked yet.
Yet being the operative word in that sentence.
The fact that there's an opportunity that they might attack. is
Are
not
they
comfortable.
moving specifically? I'm just gonna.
If you don't want to be in the nitty gritty, you might want to walk away, Nix.
Well, this is
Draho,
happening.
Now that you're next to that obelisk, you can see that it's got inscriptions in Dwarven.
Don't say anything in Dwarvish to the statues. Curse it!
Wait, which obelisk?
The one with the bear.
That big stone thing just to your left.
Okay, I thought that's what it was. What's it? Well, I can't read Dwarven, so
Mhm.
is it in Dwarven?
It is.
Okay.
So, do you
Is
give it a quick
Dwarven similar
look
to
at-
Spanish where I can attempt to say it out loud?
I'm pretty sure it's closest to German.
Well, no, I mean like in where I can like see it written and sort of having heard it before be like, oh, that means Guten.
Okay. I stand back up, turn around. Does it look like he's winding up to attack?
It does not.
Well, I'm going to mention that if they're not attacking, Ark, there's dwarven on this pillar. You might want to read that to him.
I look at Nix. I'm like, you need to back up.
And they're each going to go to one side of the anvil, raise their hammers, bang on the anvil, and then we will know that the hour is 12 o'clock.
But they'll bang on it 12 times, so it's going to get really annoying.
I'll move kind of back here, I guess. And as I'm doing that, I'll summon my own maul to my hand.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Ark, step back.
I will risk the opportunity attack.
All right. They let you step back.
Okay. And I very peacefully go over to Draho. I keep my face pointed toward them the whole time. So, strange. Okay. And I start reading the inscription.
Okay. So, looking over the obelisk, you can see that it, aside from sitting in the most rear portion of the chapel, it's leaning against that back wall, kind of dug into it. It has a plethora of words inscribed in succession, almost a listing format. The corners of the stone obelisk seem to be just a touch lighter in color than the rest of the obelisk, and you recognize that the words are almost exclusively names. Some are hard to read, and read as you can see water trickling in above onto the granite, having kind of eroded them. Many of them seem to be clan names, or easily recognizable as letters that, if you rearrange just a bit between things that are above and below in that list, it meshes up in sections. You see Gemhammer, Axe Breaker, Iron Helms, Cragnog, Oaken Shield, and many others that fill every available space on the granite surface. A small title at the bottom catches your eye. It reads, "In service of the Allfather, we commit these names to this stone, as these folk commit their hands, works, and very lives to him. The first and the last are honored equally."
It's memoriam.
Yep. I would not be surprised if there's a mausoleum here somewhere. Are the statue guys moving any further?
They seem to be just kind of keeping you guys pinned up there.
Okay, so hey, as long as they're satisfied with what they're doing, I would like to take my maul in a non-threatening way and just place it upon the anvil.
Okay. It rests there comfortably.
Okay.
Heard that. He said it was comfortable. Your maul sentient.
I warned you. No. Well, if they're not making a move, I am going to, without the maul in hand, and without saying a damn thing, I'm going to look at Kaizen, and I'm going to kind of point at myself and toward the door, or rubble, just so he knows I'm about to move. And that might be a bad thing for us. Kaizen, do you nod or anything?
I get what you're thinking. I don't know that it's a good idea.
So what is your response? Do you kind of do you do any kind of response?
Perhaps a moment to think about this.
So
It seems these guys didn't care until we talked about going through the rubble into that area. Maybe they are guarding that area.
that is fair.
And so this is a speak, friend, and enter moment where we have to do the right thing before we go in.
Got it.
Didn't that thing say something about honoring the people who committed their works to Moradin?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I will go back and I will read that out loud in Dwarvish to where my voice carries throughout the temple.
Alrighty. It's in the Sword Tables Lounge for you.
Oh, okay. So I got to do the thing. Give me a second here. There we go.
Make it good in Scottish.
You don't have to speak Dwarvish in a Dwarvish accent, but it does help.
Yes, you do.
All right. Sword Tables Lounge. All right. Yeah. Lips, teeth, tip of the tongue. In service of the All-Father, we commit these names to this stone as these folk commit their hands, works, and very lives to him. The first and last are honored equally. That silence is deafening.
Nothing happens.
No.
The stone guardians look at you and just say, that's a terrible accent. Oh God, they're getting closer. Why? Well, I don't think they're particularly... wait. And is it the same inscription on all three visible sides?
It is.
Okay.
You make out the first and the last name.
Ah. Can I make out the first and last name?
You can.
What is the first name?
Brennigan Iron Legs.
Brennigan Iron Legs.
And you see this one slowly starting to trot up here.
It didn't like that I read that.
Read the other one. We
Okay,
might as well go
It
for it.
seems to be waiting for something there at the stairwell.
What's the last one?
The last name is Tarek Cragnog.
Tarek Cragnog.
This one begins to move up. Gets to about here. And then seems to be waiting.
Ah!
Maybe everybody get out of their way.
Yeah, go to either side of the room, but in a very polite, non-threatening way. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna scuttle
just
over here.
behind me. Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm scuttling over here.
And I'll read the inscription again to bring it back up here. In service of the All-Father, we commit these names to this stone, as these folks commit their hands, works, and very lives to him. The first and last are honored equally.
And what you see is the two stone golems reach out, grab that obelisk, and start lifting it.
Okay.
Stone on stone grinding can definitely be heard as it moves into the ceiling.
And the other six awaken.
And it gets about 10, 20 feet up where they're holding it up in the air. And...
Zelda secret door sound.
Indeed. There we go. You stare into kind of a hallway that about 10 feet in ends with no flooring for about 50 feet and then continues flooring after that.
So it's a stairway down.
No flooring.
Floor's gone.
Oh. How
Visible-
deep's the fall?
From what you can see, if you get up next to it, dark enough down there that you can't get beyond your dark vision.
So at least 120 feet.
Mm-hmm.
I take out one mundane torch and just... Oh, actually, no, we've got our light cleric here. I pick up some piece of small rubble.
If he can't see it at 120 feet, there is no light source we have that will give us 120 feet of light.
But we can see how long until we stop seeing a bright light fall.
We can also, okay, I pick up a stone.
Cantrip light on the stone for you, Ark.
Okay, that works. We can still hear it when it lands, hopefully. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, he does the parent.
I go until I hear. Well, you hear
Mandible
so
full
you're
of
talking for a while. No.
It takes a good 20 seconds.
Oh, that's far down. Okay, how much rope do we have?
So there's flooring on 50 feet on the other side of whatever this chasm is.
Correct.
And
I've got 100 feet on me.
about how far across did you say the opening is?
Sorry, 150. I have hemp rope. And
The
so-
sides of the walls are 10 feet wide, then 50 feet of pit, then flooring continues. So you've got a 10 by 10 square behind the obelisk, then pit.
Okay, and it's 50 feet to the next bit of floor.
Correct.
Are there walls along the side of the chasm?
There are.
Are they smooth, rough?
They look to be heavily inscribed, filigreed, almost artistically done.
The inscriptions, are any of them letters?
They are not.
Runes?
No runes.
Is there any type of lever mechanism that we can see that might extend bridge?
Give me an investigation check.
Please, someone do that for me.
I'll go ahead and do that.
Does anyone see a mechanism? Of course, that's when I finally get a high roll, 16.
Does not seem to be one.
I only got a 10, so.
I got a 23 looking for
I was going to say I got a 10 also, but
Yep, still does not
Draho.
seem to be one.
This is a Mordenite temple, right?
Correct.
A Sunlander of Morden wouldn't need anything. He could shape stone his way across.
Clever point. All right, 50 feet. We have a combined well over 50 feet of rope.
While you're
absolutely.
searching for levers, I'm going to spider climb and walk across.
Here, take
As
this
you say-
rope, please.
I also have a
I love
potion
how
of
you let us
spider
go
climb.
through that, by the way. Like, you're all adorable. Spider Nicks.
And I could also fly.
Oh, now you're just showing off.
I would like to use a free action to high five the Spider Nicks.
I don't know. Is there anything over there?
probably.
Well, let
Would you like me
Nix
to
tell us.
roll to investigate anything? Or
Nope, you're able to get all the way across. Beyond the pit, you find yourself in a hallway that continues.
Is there anything you can tie the rope to?
sure there's something here.
Not for quite a ways, but you do see some candle holders up on the wall about another 50 feet.
Oh, that'll totally hold my weight.
They are dwarven, so I wouldn't put it past them.
This sconce has a tension weight rating of 350 pounds. And that's the weakest one.
Can you do the conversion to stones for me?
I feel that was a dwarf joke.
Probably.
In any case, I don't think that Kaizan's in any rush to go 50 feet over a rope.
Chat's giving you ideas, by the way.
That is...
Okay, I guess we're good.
Oop. I don't know what I just clicked, but I rolled.
You rolled a
All the
39,
D20s.
whatever it was.
Ah,
You just critically shot something, I imagine.
Kedra, I know that they're giving us ideas, but as artistically as the walls were, I didn't want to say that.
Oh, yeah, but we can
I
always
think-
put one
it-
into the floor
yeah, I was gonna say the floor. So
on the other side.
I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that you have the pitons, so that way we can make sort of a makeshift rope bridge.
350 pounds is 25 stone, by the way.
Yeah,
Thank you.
mathematics. Okay. How many sets of climbing gear did we have, Draho?
Personally, did I bring with me?
No, how many did we buy total?
Oh, I don't know. Check the cart.
Someone remind me how to check the cart.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
I'm
Draho
checking.
has access to it because he
Yep.
claimed the character.
Okay. 'Cause remember, I was like, "Hey, Draho, we're going to take all that stuff we forgot to take the one time because
I know, and I
apparently
raided the
we
cart
have-
for everything that I thought would be useful.
right." And I put it into the bag of holding, which I've had for 3 days, and no one bothered to mention that they didn't notice that it wasn't there.
Let me see.
You did
Characters.
disappear.
Which
Yeah,
cart would most of our stuff be in? I know we moved it all to one cart.
Should be the adamantine one.
I
Okay.
just need to know how many sets we had total because I would have brought all of them just to make things faster.
Well, that would be one left in the cart.
Nix, are you able to
It
start a
wasn't
walk
left
at
in the
will?
cart. I was bringing stuff.
Okay, then you have one.
Requires a spell slot.
Okay, thank
Got
you.
it.
But spell slots are a
Okay.
short rest for me.
So I'll make sure that you have our one. Well, I'd have to pull it back out of the hallway. So just
So
Probably
I'll
should have
walk
bought
back
more, but
across
I never
to
thought we'd need more than one.
the side that the party is on, and while we figure this out, I'll grab some of the pittons and
okay. Well, I think we probably just like made a length of rope to get down here. We didn't need the pittons because we weren't climbing up. So, okay. So here's a set of climbing gear and pittons. We've got grappling hooks and ropes, and we tie it together, and we make a thing, and we send the lighters first. Hey, Kibble.
Crap.
Nix, did you say you were coming over to get the pitons and stuff and go back over to set them?
yeah.
And we, again, for just 50 foot length, we probably have enough excess rope that we can also tether whoever's going across.
When Nix gets ready to go across, I shift and climb up on his shoulder.
Do we have enough that we can make sort of like a conveyor system where we just kind of
Well, but before we go doing all of this, how much can Ark carry?
all of it?
Because what if I just cast fly on you and you carry us over?
Very Iron Man 3 of you.
I certainly wasn't looking up that as an option earlier today for how that rule works because it's not in the DMG.
So,
have to
so
look up
in
the
theory,
possible
would Ark be
solutions
able to
to
carry
support
us?
it.
Oh,
If
absolutely.
only I'd taken Dimension Door. I thought
I mean,
about it.
in multiple trips,
Okay,
he can
because
probably
this- okay,
carry us.
Nix,
Because this thing cannot properly account for what I do. My maximum, I'm considered large for my carrying capacity. So if it comes down to it, if you want to cast fly on me, I can zip you over one at a time.
Yeah, I'm gonna just do that. That'll expedite this whole process.
I mean, I could always cast Spider Climb on him too, and he can just walk across also. So if it's a question of
which is the lower level spell slot.
It's Warlock. It's all the same.
yeah. And again, we get ours back on short rest. So
Okay, well,
Uh-huh.
whichever one of you touches me first, then you can cast a spell.
I'll go ahead and do it because I haven't burned any spell slots yet.
Okay, I believe I can fly.
And you're right. You go flying right across the chasm. Who are you taking first?
Well, we're gonna take Kibble because it said he goes first, but I'm gonna be like all like hugging him.
Okay. The whole way he's, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Don't drop
Which
me.
one?
No, it isn't Kurtle Mac. It's Burden. Anyway, okay, so I go back and I'll take Damara next.
Nix, have you gone back across?
I'll walk across with some of our stuff if we can do that too, and kind of get everything across.
I mean, we've got bags of holding, so it doesn't matter. Next, I will take Misaki.
I was on Nix's shoulder.
Yeah, so I'll just walk across with.
Okay.
There's a fox on top of Nix.
What does it say?
Shut up.
It just
All you gotta
glares.
know.
It just glares.
All right,
It's looking at you from sideways as we're walking sideways on the wall.
Right. Next, I will take Kaizen, but given Kaizen's history, I will tie him to me first, and I'll let him walk gingerly. That's everyone but Draho, right?
Yeah, I would be the last one over because I'm
Okay.
keeping an
Everyone's over.
overwatch.
Let's just go.
Okay.
Yeah, please leave me behind. That's on you guys. I'll just go back to the dwarves and chill.
I fly back, and when we're about 10 feet from the edge of the other side, I throw him the rest of the way.
Make a dex save, Draho.
Yeah. It's okay.
Should I at least make a strength check?
Oh no, you're fully capable of doing that.
Well, that's a
Fair enough. Fair enough.
21.
So you softball pitch him over there, and he lands on his feet and slides for a few feet. The most graceful thing you've ever seen him do.
Is it? I don't know. That one time he threw his bow and then fired it.
No, this is even better than that.
Does he do the cool thing where he's almost like surfing his way across, like what is it, that one Tom Cruise movie?
Risky business.
Yeah.
And then after I get to the end of it, I do a double pirouette flip, landing perfectly balanced.
I think that's another check.
Not with the 21. We'll go with it.
Okay. I look at him. I'm just like, okay.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna keep flying until it wears off.
Okay.
This is fun.
So heading down.
I'm gonna
the
like
hallway.
fly above everyone, just to kind of rub it in.
I'll walk up on the ceiling with Ark.
I'll let him do that for a little bit, and then I'll drop concentration when he starts showing off.
I look at Navarra.
Sorry, I got distracted.
Kendra, what's down the hall?
About another 100 feet down the hall is a dwarf-sized wooden door.
You could have just said it was a square door.
And on that
The
note,
shape doesn't indicate the size.
Sit in front of the door.
Okay. As you guys come
be
walking
right
up,
back.
you see a fox in front of a small door.
I've had it with these mother effing familiars. now we have 3 sources of recon. So next time we need to make sure someone is in their room. We can do it round the clock.
The fox looks at you. You get the stink eye.
I give the stink eye back.
I say the fox is Misaki, so it's not a familiar.
Oh, you actually shapeshifted.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
That's how I got it.
I was wondering
I
too.
hitched
I'm
a
like,
ride.
man, you're really giving Misaki the business.
Mine is a reaction. My attitude is a response to that attitude. Anyway, look at the door.
Yep.
I ask people to check for traps.
Only we had a GM that didn't have us so paranoid we have to check everything for traps.
It's not paranoia if there's precedent.
Yeah, now I just got to get rid of Kibble so you guys don't have the auto check.
I will take levels in row.
We know where you live. Ish.
Doesn't
Do
seem to be
we?
trapped.
We can find out. Anyway.
Just to mention, Castle Lost State.
Nice.
Challenging thing. Well, looks like.
All right, that door caves in. Inside is a small room that seems to be a supply closet.
Next you're gonna have to get used to me not liking doors. Long door.
And we can fix that.
I just did.
Looking wooden folding chairs, extra linens, dwarf-sized servants' clothes, and accoutrements for various worship services.
They have folding chairs.
What looks to be, yep. What looks to be a few small hand kegs labeled Cragnog Bitter.
Wait, they got bitters?
It's got to be awfully bitter now.
You got a stomach ache?
No, I'm just. It's been down here for how long?
I pick one up and give it a slight shake.
There is liquid in there. You see Kibble with big doe eyes just looking at you.
When we take a moment to camp for the day, okay? We need you sharp until then.
He pulls out his short sword.
I pop the
I am a
cork
bad
and
influence
sniff.
on an NPC. I, the human, not the character, am a bad influence on this NPC.
It smells delightful for ale. Robust, kind of a dark ale. Hints of hickory and cherry blossom.
The floor is now difficult terrain due to all of Kibble's saliva on it. How many barrels of this?
3 small hand kegs.
Oh, yeah, no, it would have been great if I could fly these back across, but someone had to. Anyway,
Yeah, well, I say we take them with us if they're still good.
that's exactly what I was suggesting, Draho. It's just going to be more difficult now.
You see Kibble moving over towards them.
No,
I taste.
Tastes just fine. Probably one of the most exquisite ales you've had.
All right, Kibble. If Draho says you can have some, you can have one sip for now.
Kaizen.
Kibble
Yeah.
immediately turns to you. His ears perk up.
I jump up
and
onto
you
your
see
shoulder.
The biggest.
Look at you.
pleading
You
eyes.
his next
Let me taste.
bulbs.
I will let
I
Kibble
let you
take
taste.
a drink, but that's all he gets is one drink till later.
Okay. And he runs over, grabs one of the hand kegs, takes a sip, recorks it, and puts it in his bag.
Insight check. No.
And then runs out of the room.
When he put the whole cake into his bag.
Yep.
Yeah,
Drum
they're only pancakes. They're like,
Yeah, they'll fit in the bag.
it's like a 5-gallon milk jug.
No,
right?
I'm just making sure that is exactly what he did. I wasn't questioning the ability to.
Oh,
Oh,
I was just making sure that that is in fact what was happening.
tasty.
Think Mr. Beer Brewing Kit.
Gotcha.
So what else is in here?
And he just runs out of the room.
He does immediately.
no, he doesn't. I'm gonna stop Kibble. Back in here. You're not drinking that behind our backs.
Oddly, you don't see him anymore.
It's not that odd. I mean, unless he learned spider climb. Oh crap!
I'm just gonna yell really loudly. Remember when you took that coin out of the chest? What happened?
That also involved liquid.
Draho, you hear kind of a whisper. It didn't taste this good.
Did he just message him?
Oh, you know what? I can't blame him, man.
I can.
For it.
In response to Masaki's question, there are rickety-looking wooden folding chairs, extra silk linens, dwarf-sized servants' clothes, and various different accoutrements for worship service. Things like censers.
No other door or anything?
No other door.
There wasn't anything else down at this end of this hallway?
It continues on.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
okay. So
So
we do
there's-
have.
Shit, it
more
was a
hallway.
really weird way to get to the closet.
Yeah, I was going to say
I was
it's a
about
very
to say-
well
I mean,
protected.
for us, yes. For dwarves who are priests of their own god, meh.
It's a very well protected
Yeah, they're dwarves. They like everything they do is partially militaristic.
custodian's closet.
Yeah,
No,
well, I
this is-
guess continue on.
This would be where they would change before they'd go out to the anvil for services,
Yeah.
which means their living quarters are probably further on the hall. I thought the hall ended in this room.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, we're like in the selling room.
Yep.
So-
So, continuing down the hall a bit further, you find yourselves winding down a few flights of stairs in a semicircle. The walls are adorned in murals that depict the sun, moon, and stars in various cycles.
Gable, you better be right behind us.
I am.
Good.
With the final picture showing a constellation of 13 brilliantly lit stars on a background of kind of colorful palettes, edged in a ring of fire. Small bits of crystal make up 13 of the stars, and they're glowing ever so lightly.
That number again. Kibble, how many figures am I holding up?
More than one.
I want a precise number. You went to school.
I still can't count very well.
Can you?
I will be fair and say I did not put math high on his curriculum when I set him up.
Okay, see how, can you count all the way up to 10?
2?
That's not what I asked.
I walk up to Kibble, put my hand on his shoulder.
Can you see Kibble?
It's okay. And then I burn 5 points to cure poison. He's sober now.
You should have checked to see if that barrel was empty first. It's okay. I have the rest of them, so he can't get into more of it yet.
You think?
Kedra, religion check on the diorama that we've been witnessing as we came down.
Go for it.
Nope. Pretty pictures.
Yeah, definitely pretty pictures. You think that there's probably some significance to the crystals lighting up that particular constellation, but you're not quite placing what constellation that is.
I point at it.
Or history?
Yep, history.
Would any other skill be able to identify the constellation?
16.
Can I make a case for survival, because one would chart their courses by the stars at night?
You can. And because you speak Dwarven, you can have advantage.
Woohoo!
So I got a 16 to figure out historically.
Okay. I might. Aha.
Anybody else find it weird that a bunch of dwarves who live underground are decorating with constellations?
I mean, they're aware of the surface. They go up there to trade and get supplies. They're not like always underground, just mostly.
They're not like Draho.
So you would know that it's a constellation Draho that comes around once, maybe every 2 or 3 centuries.
When's it due to come around again?
Probably sometime within the next year or so.
Oh, so now our adventure has a deadline. 21, by the way.
21, nice. You would know that it is a kind of heraldic bearing to times when things have just gone awry in the Forgotten Realms. Functionally, the most recent would have been several hundred years ago, and it ended in just a variety of different calamities. Some people try to attribute the spell plague to it, but that's much too recent for that to have happened.
And I would imagine that my tribe would have an oral history that kind of alludes to that anyway. Yep. So, okay. So, well, sounds like we have a timeline.
Yeah, we're gonna have to dig into when exactly that thing's coming back around.
Nope, never mind. Okay, so this is just along the stairway, or is this a chamber?
This is along the stairwell.
Okay.
And we're at the bottom of the stairwell now with the last scene, correct?
Correct.
Door? Or open hall?
Actually, yeah. There's a door right there at that kind of final bit of the stairwell.
Not anymore, there isn't.
It's on your left, and it hangs slightly askew.
You need to stop doing that.
Don't you tell me how to live my life.
Were you already down here, Ark?
What?
The fox says, were you already down here?
Do I understand the fox talking?
Yes.
You can speak common while as a fox.
Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure that's what it said.
You do remember the incident with the revenants, right?
Yeah.
And kicking in doors.
Yep. I may speak as
Whoa.
normal.
Well, I don't break it in if it's already hanging askew.
He just nudges it.
Well, what I do is
You repair the door to perfect condition so you can break it yourself.
exactly. I will kill you, bring you to life, and kill you again. Now I pull out my maul because at this point I'm like, something might be back here, and I.
And in this room, what you see is that it's a filled with bare stone, save for dust, and an odd-looking handles.
What kind of stone?
Bare stone.
Proceed.
And odd-looking handles interspaced at various different intervals along the wall.
What he's trying to say is the stone is very furry.
That's just mold.
Don't kink shame.
It's very vibrant blue.
Well, just remember about the king shaming when he starts to pull on those handles.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what he's looking for.
To just make sure there's a safe word and everything's fine.
I mean, we are trying to track down a guy who fights with a whip, so.
And we're in a dungeon.
Oh, I missed this. Anyway, so bare stone walls and then some stuff.
Handles in the walls, correct?
Handles.
Correct.
Handles. Can you describe the handles in a bit more detail?
They look like kind of an iron rod with two pegs that just are stuck direct into the wall.
Horizontally or vertically?
Some of both.
I think we entered the ninja warrior portion of this dungeon.
Yeah. This is weird.
What's it smell like?
Aside from the dust, fairly clean.
Huh.
I'll hop down. I'll start walking into the room and change back to
Okay.
human. Does it feel sacred?
Not specifically, no.
All right. Well, I guess we should start looking around. Be careful what's under your feet.
I guess I'll try investigation.
Okay.
10.
So amidst the dust, you can kind of make out cracks in the walls that are roughly where a handle is in the middle of each section of it.
I know what this is.
So do I.
I'm lost.
Someone's never lived in a small place before.
My spelling's bad.
What are you looking at here? So I got nothing.
Can you describe it one more time? Sorry.
Yep. So the room is bare stone, save for dust and odd-looking handles interspaced at intervals along the wall. What you've seen is that there are square sections of the wall. Some are rectangular, others are oblong, with a
now I get
handle
it.
directly in the middle of each one.
Now I get it. Sorry.
Pull on the handle. Is there a bed behind it?
Several of them are beds. You do find a writing desk. And in some of the corners, they swing circularly to reveal alcoves, housing plush chairs, and the final alcove reveals an armoire.
We found the studio apartment, guys.
Armoire.
Only
Murphy
3,000 a
beds
month.
galore.
Only 3,000 gold a month.
For this, the most posh of areas.
You said
The Holy
that
of Holies.
some of these pulled out to be desks.
Yep, 2 desks, 3 beds, several chairs, and an armoire.
Okay. And is there any way out of this that we can see?
Not in this room. Though the hallway did continue.
Okay. So we investigate everything as we find it.
Pull out a drawer, inspect.
All right. The desk is relatively empty. The parchment, like the prior desk, having long ago turned to dust. The ink will dry, and the quill having been reduced to only the barest leftover kind of a ratty bone. The armoire, on the other hand, holds a variety of priestly vestments, robes, several necklaces connected to holy symbols, a censer, and a thick leather belt adorned in adamantine studs with a buckle depicting a grim, stony face.
Kibble. Magical?
Uh-huh.
I think I know what type of belt that is. Metagame knowledge. So, do we want to take 10 for Kibble here?
Yeah, I mean, we can. But
I mean,
obviously, I'm going
probably-
to spend the whole time watching out for trouble.
I mean, considering
Sure,
how-
it'll give me time to use mending on the door.
It'll really. It was already broken. But I guess we'll. It'll probably take at least a few minutes to check all the drawers, so I'll get him on that.
Okay. You are now the proud owner of a belt of stone giant strength.
Click.
Wait a minute. Don't those work differently in 5th ed?
No, not really. Aside from requiring attunement.
Well, I'm on it. So once we decide we're gonna need to take a rest, I will attune to it. But it's on me now. It's still fashionable.
Oh, it does work differently. But that's okay.
What
Well,
about the rest of the vestments? Or was it just the belt?
Beyond that, there were like robes, undersmocks, the necklaces with the holy symbols.
When you said yes, I thought Kibble was referring to the whole damn thing,
Yeah, nope.
not just the belt.
Yep, just the belt.
I'm like,
He took
Oh.
the time to describe the belt. I was actually wrong about what kind of belt this was, so kudos on you.
You thought it was a belt of dwarven kind.
I
as
did. I did.
Thus the stony face.
okay. So we've got that. Anything else of value in here?
Nope, everything else seems to be predominantly mundane, though the robes, necklaces, etc. Do seem to be of quality.
I mean, these could be gathered up and given back to the dwarven compatriots when we get back.
Absolutely.
Towards-
That's actually what I was just thinking, was they might want to retrieve these.
If
Seems like
nothing-
anything related to Moradin, it'd be nice to let them know and bring back for them.
You said stone giant strength, right?
Correct.
I know it's not going to take
Strength
effect right
23.
away. Oh, okay.
So you better get to swing up front all day long.
Well, he was doing that anyway. Now he just does it more.
Now I do it
bitter.
a lot harder.
Yeah.
Well,
You're
once
gonna
we get
say.
once we get a moment for me to spend an hour with this belt, I'll do it a lot harder. But
So you're going to be walking down the hall rubbing that buckle, aren't you?
I mean, that's not me concentrating on it.
He's going to be rubbing something.
Anyway, so
It's
we've
not-
done that. We've done that.
Hey,
so
do the warlocks need their spell slots back?
I still got 50% of my spell slots,
I've got half a mind.
which is also 1.
Warlock systems and 50% captain. And hold it.
Oh, Kendra, has this been a continuous thing, or was there like a rest that I didn't know about?
You guys got a full rest at the start.
Okay,
Should
thank
be
you.
reflected in character.
Yep.
All right, so back out in the hallway then.
Ike feels that you're very lucky.
I did, yes.
Well, I mean,
It's the luck
Really?
of the dwarves. I tried to make that slightly more Irish.
Yeah, you only no.
he needs a ring of stone skin, gloves of proficiency, boots of speed, and the belt. Then he can be the Daft Punk.
And then my deeds will be known around the world, around.
No.
I just figured you'd be harder, better, faster, and stronger.
I would.
No. I'm putting a stop to this right now before it becomes a thing.
Too
late.
Late.
It'll never be as much of a thing as Stroud's mom.
The thing is, Draho, is that when we go to rest, I might not rest because I'll be all up all night to get lucky.
But we gave
The more
away
you
that
protest,
sword.
the more we will do it.
I know. I've got to learn to stop doing that.
You
Draho
won't.
is disconnected to the chat.
Lexi notes that you guys are pouring more salt.
I mean, hey, we like our food spicy.
Isn't that the whole
isn't-
point?
Hell no, Kevin. Keep your blandness potato salad to yourself.
So, what would you guys like to do?
Okay, so the hallway continued, though.
That is
I
correct.
believe we're going down the hallway more.
All right. Continuing further down the corridor, you find an archway to your right. The hall does continue.
One more time, I would like to check the room.
All right.
Oh, sorry, Navarro.
Oh, which room?
The archway.
Yeah.
Oh, that.
Said to the right.
Gotcha.
How does the...
That was a Daft Punk joke.
I got it. I was with you. I had you on that.
Oh,
I'm
one more
not
time.
familiar with that one.
So, looking in the room, you can see that this looks to have once been a small private chapel, perhaps a temple for staff, wealthy dignitaries, or others of high station. The walls are covered in intricate relief carvings depicting the various dwarven gods, with the main dwarven figure in exquisite-looking armored poised behind the podium on the far wall. Small bits of iridescent crystal line the upper portion of the walls, kind of cascading a minor glow around the room.
Okay, so before we go any further, and I have to do this in a dwarven accent. Hey, lass, I heard you like temples, so I put a temple inside your temple. Now you're saying that they were minor what?
So there's small bits of crystal lining the upper portion of the wall,
Gotcha.
and it's
These are
giving off
minor,
like a
they're
minor
dwarves.
glow.
Now is that minor with an O or E?
Yes.
In Dwarvish, the letters interchangeable. So... All right. And you said there's an armored figure in the room?
The relief carvings along the walls. So the far back one is basically a picture of Morden, fully decked in intricately exquisite armor.
Gotcha. Oh, I meant to ask you guys. You said you fought undead while we were down here.
Yeah, right at the beginning.
Did we ever do that? The mayor's favor yet? That was
It's
part
not
of.
been located.
Okay.
Nope. There's been no locating of any such.
Even the guy even the original bearer of the spirit magic helmet.
Spirit magic helmet.
Okay, just checking.
Speaking of magic spears, I forgot that I have the spear of the halberd of warning now.
That's why I keep trying to put you in front of me.
I completely forgot. I'm the warning system hanging out in the back, so we'll never get jumped from behind.
Not with that attitude. All right, so I feel like, unless there is a thing that isn't embedded in the wall, we should just leave everything in here alone. But
Yeah.
let's at least look in the room for things that aren't nailed down.
All right, investigation check. Is that a high thumb?
That is 5.
Nothing overly out of the ordinary.
I'm not so good at the finding things with my brain. Looks like some other people are better at finding things with the brain.
Looks like
Yeah.
Draho with 22.
Yeah.
Little seems to be left in this room that isn't a stable fixture. Though, Draho, your eyes end up focusing on one of the crystals that glows just a little bit brighter than the others.
He got
My
this-
superior elf eyes notice something no one else does.
You just on an elven scale went, ooh, shiny.
I'm gonna point that out to everyone. That one seems to be glowing somewhat brighter.
What color is it?
They're all a soft yellow.
That's softer, yellower, or less
I
soft yellow.
touch
It is
it.
also harder, better, faster, stronger.
All right. As Kaizen touches the crystal, the other crystals that are attached to the wall free themselves and float down into the room, first forming the outline of an anvil, then a hammer, and then finally returning to the place that they originally occupied. But, from Kaizen's point of view, just as they're returning to their origination points, you notice a small notch that is only lit briefly by the crystals as they float back. Now looking at that space, it almost seems a trick of the eye. The anvil and hammer symbol emblazoned on the main dwarven figure at the rear of the chapel is recessed ever so slightly.
Do you share with the rest of the class?
I kind of walk. I look at it funny, and I cock my head to the side, and I kind of walk over, and I stick my finger in it.
There you go.
Kaizen, kibble rules. Kibble rules. Okay, perfect.
So, moving in to touch that symbol, it's not only recessed, but it's an actively empty space that kind of juts into the wall in about 4 inches at a downward angle, at the bottom of which you can feel 2 buttons.
Cut the red wire.
Red or blue.
Prepared for the worst, so.
Do you tell us what you found? Or
Well,
are you just doing things?
I think he's doing things from that look.
I'm
I-
just
I-
reminded of the first time I stuck my finger in a recess and found a button.
Actively fingering the wall right now.
Why is it suddenly wet in here?
But there are 2 buttons. I try to feel is there any like indentation or rune or anything etched on the buttons?
Good
Well,
thing.
There's not. They're just both kind of slightly rounded and sharp around the edge.
Slightly rounded and sharp around the edge.
For those of you looking at home, we don't have access to the regeneration spell yet.
And what does your DM like to do?
Holes.
Things that we find scary and feed our paranoia, which isn't paranoia.
It's healthy.
Trauma. There's a difference.
Recessed, and there are buttons. So, do I risk losing 2 fingers on buttons?
I mean, the other option, you put something that's not, your fingers in there. Wow, that's sounding bad.
Depends on who you're saying it to.
I look at Draho and go, "You cad."
Not what
What?
I meant.
Does
You like
this
to be
thing
circumcised.
require you to risk appendages?
Hey, we've done that.
I'm just saying that we have established that a kibble does have a kibble mage hand.
That is true. Mage hand can't be decapitated, I think.
Can't lose its fingers and it can't be circumcised.
That we know of. No.
Be a good time to learn. Be the only person with a 3-fingered mage hand.
It only needs the one finger. No.
Anyway, we can have him push the buttons.
All right. Do you want him to push the left button, the right button, both buttons, or which order? Decisions.
There's no clues.
I feel
hinting
like
at
every
buttons.
puzzle is going to have some weird, funky video game and/or other nerdy reference to them.
Just
So
trying to
this
figure out
hammer
what
and
3
anvil
buttons is.
depression, what kind of
Or
is
do
it
we
like
have-
one
do we have to, like-
superimposed on
Do
another?
we have to
Or
toggle
are
it
they?
up before
you have
we're
the,
testing our mic?
the anvil, and then the hammer sits on top, and kind of right in the middle of those two is where that entrance is. And it doesn't matter which direction you kind of move your head around from your vantage point because it's up above you. It looks like it's flat.
I'm just saying that that Muradin, being not only a god of craftsmanship but a god of war, might be asking us to test our might. So we might have to just keep pushing the buttons before we break the diamond.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, please set the Wayback Machine to 2001.
1993.
Really? That far back? Yeah, that far back.
Listen here, you little whippersnappers.
Wow.
Mm,
Grandpa Ark.
And this
We're
stream
destroying
just
somebody's
dated
car.
itself.
Yeah. Kaizen still got his hand in that slot.
He does.
I thought we.
Or
And
did
fisting the wall?
No, I thought
not
he
big enough
removed
for
it.
his fist. It's just his fingers.
This puzzle brought to you by every George Takei joke.
Oh my.
Oh.
Or does no? Or is
Okay,
Kibble got the mage
fine.
hand stuck in there?
Does Kibble have his mage hand in there yet?
If you wish it.
Press the right button.
All right.
Do you mean correct or by orientation?
Orientation.
Okay.
Oh, that's more obvious.
Obviously, you want to hit the right
Press the right button. No pressure, but actual pressure to press the button.
So when he touches the right button, you hear a bit of stone on stone grinding sound.
They're
The
coming down the stairs.
The mural on the wall splits into sections that kind of open in kind of a accordion fashion. They swing back and then slide sideways to reveal a small room housing what looks to be the temple's treasury.
Ooh.
Turns out that was the right button.
What's in the
It is.
treasury?
Small piles of copper, silver, gold, an even smaller pile of platinum. An odd pendant that looks like a shield, a light hammer, a dwarven battle axe, and 7 potion vials.
Just the vials.
They do have contents, 5 of which look to be your standard potion of healing.
Nice.
Okay, so what is going to happen now is Kibble, did he just press it and he doesn't need to maintain pressure?
Correct.
You want to loot the closet, don't you?
I'm about to.
So as Ark begins looting the closet,
With Draho's assistance.
the two of you collect 900 copper, 6,000 silver, 2,200 gold, 120 platinum, and then that set of various items.
Nice.
So we've just
Okay.
looked at the treasury, right?
I kind of look sideways at Kaizen, and I look at the other wall
Uh-huh.
because there were 2 buttons.
Would everyone like to clear the room? Kibble.
Just gonna tell you to push the other button.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Well, everyone clear the room because the left one might be a bad thing. I'm gonna hold Kibble
Oh, I'm willing to guess I know what's in the other one.
and be prepared to run.
I'd like to hear this guess before it happens.
I would too.
Yeah.
Well, you've got money and valuables. 50-50 on a bar or an armory.
Close, but
I
no
mean, to a
cigar.
dwarf, booze is combat oriented. So
Yep. So he presses that left button, and those crystals begin to dim. The room slowly recedes to a lightless nothing.
Okay. Found the
Everybody
light
torch.
switch.
It
No.
lights appropriately.
No. This is for dwarves. Dwarves don't need that.
Yes, they have dark vision, not perfect, no light vision.
Why don't we see what we see without the light first?
Okay.
It's a very dark room.
What do I see without the light?
Very standard room.
Kibble, make the buttons even again.
He presses the left button, presses the right button. As he presses the left button, the crystals begin to slowly light back up. The right button resets that wall.
Really?
Now press just the left button.
That's a lot of work for a light switch.
It's no longer up to code.
Yeah.
I've actually been in a house that has like the push button light
Yep.
switches.
Yep.
So okay, so now that it's evened out, just the left one.
Okay, the lights go back out.
Press the left button again. What happens if you push both of them simultaneously?
At this point, the lights go on and the doors retract.
It does the same thing at the same
It
time.
just keeps doing the same thing. So,
On the
we've
bonus,
gotten the
Kibble's
Okay,
throwing a
Kibble.
light switch rave.
back into the hall.
We actually pulled that off pretty well for just spontaneous. Nice. Also, the cheat is grounded.
Oh.
Oh, I love when people know strong bad.
Faster cottages!
Into
But,
the hall and continuing on then?
All right. Oh, winding your way
Disappointed
down
in
the
you.
corridor.
If only I still had
It's
closed
coming
the
later. Winding your way down the corridor, you make a sharp left and find yourself staring at a massive iron door. The hall does not continue.
Check the door for traps.
Okay. And you see him, and he kind of tucks his jar of fire up under one arm, scoots forward, and as he stands in front of the door to begin looking at, that jar of fire winks out.
Hit.
I pull out a regular non-magical torch.
Okay. Torch is lit up.
Try again.
It doesn't seem to be trapped.
I will grab the jar from under Kibble's arm and walk backwards.
Okay. It continues to stay unlit.
I don't like the sound of this.
I
Just-
set the jar down.
Just because we've had an interaction like this before, I'm going to put my hand into the zone where the auto zone, where the light flickered out,
Mhm.
and I will try to extend my claws.
They do not.
Anti-magic.
Really? Anti-magic. I am going to use my 7th level enchant an arrow and hold it over there. Does the arrow lose its enchantment?
You don't know until you fire it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Fortunately, my ability to damage extra objects is not magical. It's just really good material.
yeah, I'm just trying to see if I will be of any use.
I mean, you're likely to be more of use than I am.
All right.
So yeah, I'm going to test the arrow.
Everyone get way behind me.
Does the arrow no
No.
longer become magical?
What are you testing it on?
I mean, I'm just going to give a very because
Are you attacking the darkness?
No, it doesn't have to be a very hard
Please
shot.
tell
I
me
just
you're
have to
shooting a
shoot it.
magic missile at the darkness.
I mean, it is a missile and it is magical.
I'm just going to very lightly, a very light flick of the bow so that it sort of coasts over, not really aggressively, isn't going to smash into the wall and damage anything. Just almost like I threw it with the bow, so it counts as being shot.
Unless it actually hits anything, it doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, but after it hits, it loses its magic, so that wouldn't do me any good.
But how would you know?
So I need to hit something with a magic arrow.
You can still do damage without it being magic. Like,
Yeah, but I just want to make sure my arrow enchantments
If
work.
you have to shoot anything,
Anti-magic, it will not work.
If you have to shoot an enemy,
I don't know.
we'll find out based off of how hard it hits.
I don't know. I mean, my magic
Is
is
the door
very
locked?
unique.
It is.
It is very unique, but it still
Did we
requires
find a
the
key?
We do have that one key.
We do have a very thin key.
We found it
Does
in
the
the bedroom.
thin key fit?
It
Well, we
does.
found it in the bedroom. So
I say we open the
let's
door and then
establish-
prepare for an anti-magic fight.
just let's establish too that we found that key in the bedroom after going down into the dungeon with all the handles and the key discussion. We're just continuing that. Okay, open the door.
So the
Turn
door
key, open
unlocks
door.
with a slight click, opening slowly as it pulled inward by some unknown force. Inside, you can see 10 stone sarcophagi, each topped with a stone depiction of a dwarf resting in full plate armor. The sides of the walls the side walls are lined with stone boxes, out of which you can see hilts and handles, along with weapons and armor racks. Along the back wall, there are 5 chests.
I think it's safe to say this is some kind of armory / mausoleum.
All of the above.
Yeah,
Let's be real careful about what we touch.
So,
Yeah.
couple of things. One, we're looking for a clue, which may or may not be hidden inside of some kind of bronze dwarven bone. 2, there's probably some regular dwarven bones in here that may or may not be resting.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
You guys look around. You're better at finding things than me. I'm keeping an eye on the sarcophagi.
Check to see if there's anything written on the sarcophagi. That might tell us what they're
I-
about.
Actually, I will look for any inscriptions that I might be able to read.
Oh,
Oh, there's a map.
that's not the answer I wanted.
Map's changing.
The map also gave us a big close-up of ourselves.
It did for a moment.
So
So-
that is the state that you find yourselves in.
And them some tall dwarfs.
Impressed.
No, those are the
Them's 10
sarcophagus.
feet apiece.
I mean, you got to think how many weapons are being stored with them. They need a lot of room for that.
So there's 4 weapons racks, 5 chests.
And
are
each
those-
of the brown boxes are things holding what look to have sword hilts or maybe axe handles sticking out of them.
I look at Kibble.
Oh, so there's
I
a
look at Kibble.
lot of weaponry.
And, okay, I look at Kibble. If you find something interesting, don't touch it until we say, but let us know.
Okay.
It could get dangerous in here.
Should I sneak in?
You can try it. I look at Draho. You good with that?
Yeah, if he thinks he can do it.
Uh,
No unnecessary risks, buddy.
He goes fairly stealthy. Do, 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 do. And he just kind of starts making his way around the room. He lets you know that the box here seems to have a glowing axe in it.
As he's doing that, because he's moving around the corner, I'm going to stay where I can see him.
Okay. Go ahead and
What-
move yourself up. Yep.
Just there.
He lets you know that the chest here has a bit of glow coming from within it.
And I'm also going to tell Navarro, is your sight normal or are you back to your witch sight?
I don't know. Does super dark vision function in anti-magic?
I would say yes, because it's not technically magical. It's an ability that you've already got active and on you.
Right. And as Kibble's moving around, I am keeping my eyes very well trained on the sarcophagi.
Okay.
Well, and the anti-magic can only extend so far because there's a glowing axe and a glowing thing.
That's also fair.
it could be just on the threshold.
He scoots around, says there's a glowing shield here.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, because so you can't use like a magical unlocking spell or something.
Possibly it could have been to keep from just a means of keeping you to have the key to get the door open.
It also might be a means of people from coming in and otherwise harassing the bodies.
Yeah.
And then he lets you know that there seems to be a whip within this one.
You are not helping your case. There's also a mask, and what's this? Looks like it goes in the mouth. No. It says red
Okay,
ball.
so the room seems safe. I definitely want to know what each of those items are.
After I've passed the threshold, I'll try my claws again.
They work.
I'm going to step back toward the door and try to let them out.
Once you're outside the doors, they no longer work.
Okay, so yeah,
So
it's just
I
in the
think,
door.
I think that is protection for the lock.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So, but we got the key. So, all right. And then there's those chests at the end.
Correct.
Yep. And the one in the middle, we said we had some glowy.
Right.
And
Okay.
do I feel any sort of reverence walking into this room?
You do. Each of the stone sarcophagi, like as you get closer to it, not only are they intricately designed as far as the top of it's concerned, but around the entire exterior are a variety of dwarvish holy symbols, scripture prayers, and various things along those lines that just kind of pour that feeling into you.
Okay.
I would like to actually read the inscriptions.
How many names were on that list of on the obelisk?
Several hundred. The inscriptions are basically along the lines of Tarek Cragnog lies here.
Okay.
Devout father, loving husband, priest of Moradin, etc., etc., etc.
Okay. So honored dead protecting the armory. Got it.
Protecting being a key word. We might want to ask
This
permission before
may
we
not
start
be an
rushing.
armory. This just could be a mausoleum. And these could be treasured family heirlooms.
That's a good thought.
Are those all bas relief lids?
Sorry, say again?
Are all of the lids to the sarcophagi, are they all in bas relief?
They are full up, kind of like if you had a stone statue laying on top of the lid.
So yes.
And then melded into it. So yeah.
So yes. Okay.
All right. I would actually like to walk over to the shield, not pick it up. I want people to point out to me which one it was.
That was in the upper left corner.
Yes.
Yeah, but it looks like there's a rack of them. So
Yep.
I'm going to point to the particular one unless it's like very outstanding obvious.
Yes, it very much is. It's almost a translucent kind of green material.
I think I know. Okay, but my metagame, having read the manual, brain's going off. Any particular inscriptions on or anything, or is it just the interesting?
Arcane runes.
I'm assuming these are ones like
Don't walk past me.
Correct.
Okay. Someone come identify this language. Just don't touch it yet.
Can I identify it?
You can definitely tell that it's some nature of a magical rune. Probably some form of protection, potentially some form of abjuration magic.
Okay.
Abjuration magic.
Which makes sense being a shield.
So while he's doing that, I'm going to look at this magical axe.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to walk about the room and see if I can find its likeness on any one of these coffins.
Oh, very
You
smart.
can. So the coffin here has an axe in stone that looks exactly like that one.
This isn't the armory, guys.
Huh.
This axe right here looks exactly like the axe over here that Kibble says was glowing.
Okay.
These are the personal effects of the individuals in these coffins.
Huh.
We need to not mess with this unless we wish to fight and disturb the spirits of long resting.
And I feel
individuals.
that
Okay.
I feel that's the kind of thing we should ask permission. So
Yeah, but I mean, isn't their job to protect the world? Isn't that what we're
hang
doing?
on. So we know the axe goes to that one. Do any of these reliefs show someone wielding a whip?
This one here.
Does he also have a hat?
A hat.
Okay.
Yeah, Indiana Jones.
No.
Let's find the one who the shield goes to.
Yep.
I want to look over them and see if any of them prominently feature a stone, something that might look like a dragon stone.
Not that you can find.
Because that'd be a pretty fly item, and they'd probably represent that.
Mhm.
All right. I have a suggestion. We leave this room otherwise undisturbed any more than we already have. Lock the door behind us. And when we go back to camp for the night, we consult with our dwarven compatriots about what would be considered appropriate.
Fair enough.
Because these are ancient family heirlooms, and the family members or descendants thereof may still exist.
Kedro, I want to see if any of these has a hammer that resembles mine in any way.
There is one here that has what looks to be a large wormhole, but it's looks like it's much more angular than yours.
Okay. But so it seems that it's about the right size and shape, but there's clear differences.
Correct.
Interesting.
What's the name on this one?
That one, check. Belfast Axebreaker.
Is that Bell with one L or two?
One.
In Kedro, so the things that we saw in the room that were glowing was the axe, the shield, and the whip.
Mhm.
And then the box in the middle
Correct.
here had something in it.
Correct.
Does the lid lift open?
Seems to be locked.
Not going to bother with trying to get into it then.
Let's look that away. I actually want to, without touching anything, see if I can find a hammer that matches Belfast's in the room.
That would be. Grab the cable. Sitting in this box here. There's a long kind of pole that ends in the hammer head within the box.
Okay.
I see what you're doing, trying to confirm your hammer hasn't been modified of that.
I'm just trying to see if there's any connection. So
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
I say we leave the room undisturbed, speak with the dwarves about what would be considered appropriate or not.
So
and,
we can lock the room.
Yep.
That
Kind of want
works.
to pour one out for the homies, but
Yeah, let's wait and see if that'd be considered
I mean,
appropriate.
there might be a specific ritual which is considered how one might stake a claim. So,
well, I don't know that they have anything in here that interests me to own, but
well, again, it might be things that are considered useful, but we should do it in a respectful way.
I mean, the only other thing to do would be to have Kibble check and open each of those boxes, chests, to see what was in each of them. But
They're locked though, and
yeah, let's not do that.
Again,
that's what I said. That would be the only other thing to do, and I don't think we want to do that at this point in time.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
If we're taking anything out of this room, we're going to make sure that we do it the right way, or at least we go in a bit better prepared. So.
Okay. So then making your way back up to the dwarves or back up to the kind of main entry point that brought you in here?
I would say about how long have we been down here?
Several hours, easily.
Okay.
Go back to the dwarves and tell them what we found.
Yeah, we could break for lunch.
All right.
Yeah.
Be sure to lock this door upon leaving.
Yep.
All right, who's holding on to the key?
Arc is.
I've got it currently.
Oh, okay.
I'm good with you keeping it for now.
So relocking the door?
Yes.
So we locked Draho in the room. Got it.
As you do, you see that jar that you had left on the floor light back up.
Oh.
Interesting.
I'm
Divine
gonna after
respect.
that happens, I'm gonna ask Ark if he can wave his hand in front of the door again. I didn't know what he was trying to do before. I just assumed he could tell if it was magic. Barbarian senses.
I go for the claws again.
They work.
Also, I actually, when I do this, I put my hand next to Draho's head, but to where the claws would go like by his ear. I was trying to do that.
Oh, right, peasant magic.
So whatever was
Gee,
on
I think I like that we kind of have a permanent anti-magic detection system.
upon leaving and relocking the door, it no longer has that security effect that it had before.
Or it recognizes us as not douchebags and is not affecting us specifically.
I think it's because we had the key brought out and we used it. So,
Well, the thing lit up after we closed and locked the door again.
Correct.
So it must assume we have permission to open the door.
we proved ourselves not to be grave robbers. See if turning the key like another way, but keeping it locked somehow reactivates that, because that happened before we opened it. There's a puzzle to this.
Yeah, is there any combination of turning the key that'll lock the door and snuff out that light?
You know what? It didn't start doing that, I think, until Kibble tried to unlock it. Right?
It started
Check
doing
if-
that at the moment that Kibble walked up to the door.
Okay.
But currently, people are standing in front of the door.
Well, I would be willing to bet that the dwarves would know how to reactivate it.
Well, if we walk away from the door,
Or if we walk away, suddenly it reactivates because we're no longer in the room.
It might wait until the key walks away. Yeah.
It's motion detection.
Please.
So it's real easy.
With that,
We'll
we
find
are
out.
running up a little bit over our regular time.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to you, you guys meeting up with the dwarves in our next session.
Awesome.
Dude.
good.
All
And
right.
then I take an hour to
Again,
get built.
Thanks to everyone for watching, and thanks to everyone for playing.
Yep.
Yes.
All
See you guys
right.
next week.
Good night.